Weights have been lifted. Sprints have been run. Preparation for today's game is history. It's time to get it done. You're listening on MichiganSportsRadio.com.
Coaching records continue to fall, this time on the ice, and some good news when it comes to the number of registered officials. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. No one has coached more Michigan high school hockey teams to victory than Doug Toller. The head coach of the Genesee Generals won his 630th game during the winter break, topping the previous high of 629 set by Trenton's Mike Turner. Toller started his career in 1979 at Flint Northern. He then coached at Grand Blanc for 10 years before moving to Davison in 1992. Davison is the primary school of a four-school co-op named the Genesee Generals. Flushing, Goodrich, and Swartz Creek are the other schools.
I'm probably the most fortunate hockey coach in the world to have had so many great young men. It's really all about them. They've just put me in a position, I guess, to be here and reap the benefit, but I have to give them a lot of credit for everything that they've done. I love being on the ice and working with the kids and trying to get them to kind of understand the game a little bit better and become better players. And it's also about being better people too, you know, having respect and all the life lessons that go with it.
That was Toller speaking with Miriam Bingham of ABC 12 Sports after the record-breaking victory. Genesee will have another 10 games in the regular season to add to Toller's win total before starting regional play in late February. To see all of the MHSAA's ice hockey records, individual, team, coaching, and playoff, be sure to check out MHSAA.com and click on Ice Hockey. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the past week. First, Arthur Hill Jr. wrestler Michael Baldwin. He captured the Saginaw County Wrestling Invitational title at 165 pounds, the last county wrestling title for Arthur Hill before they merge with Saginaw High next school year. Hancock senior hockey player Sam Roberts, he tallied the winner in a 3-2 victory over the Capital City Capitals. It was Roberts' second goal of the year. And a Monroe St. Mary Catholic Central wrestler Mary Alice Lynch. She recorded her 100th win on the mat with a victory in the SMCC Girls Wrestling Tournament.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, you know, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Director of Officiating Services, Sam Davis.
If a basketball team has a good post player, you'll usually hear the opposing crowd call for 3 seconds. But what is 3 seconds and when should it be called? A 3-second violation occurs when a player is in the lane for more than 3 seconds. But it's not always that easy. First, a player can leave the lane and then reestablish position, resetting the 3-second clock. To establish position outside the lane, the player must have both feet on the playing surface outside of the lane. It won't reset the count if one foot is outside the lane and the other foot is in the air. Also, during a throw-in or while dribbling, attempting a shot, or rebounding, there is no 3-second count. The count does not start again until the offense has control of the ball in the front court.
Thanks, Sam. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. Sticking with officiating, for the third year in a row, the number of registered officials in Michigan is up, slightly. And while any increase is good news, it still comes after 9 straight years of decline. So while the recent trend is encouraging, there's still a ways to go as a lack of officials puts extra strain on current officials. To help recruit and retain officials, the MHSAA has provided membership in the National Association of Sports Officials. Membership gives officials expanded insurance coverages, access to professional services and development, and a subscription to an MHSAA-focused referee magazine. But there's still a need for more. If you're interested, go to MHSAA.com and click on Officials for more information. Because without officials, it's just practice. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll be back next week.
With their intensity, what a move by Wade to the corner. DeYoung, another one! DeBoer regathers, takes it to the front of the net, and skies one behind Louiselle, and scores! 2-1 Grandville.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Breslin Center and game night on Michigan Sports Radio. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here.
Bob's Ragnaris drives, jams thunderously with two hands again. Cam Ragnaris, he's got 10. Bobo skips the right corner to Watson, catch and shoot three. Splash! Muskegon has taken the lead, 47-46. Justin Watson, another triple. He has 9, 138 in the third, and a big red lead. By Baker, they'll fling it to Steffen. Aldering to the basket. Merritt Aldering cocks it back, jams it. Timeout, Covenant Christian. And hello everyone, and welcome to Vanderslice Gymnasium, and welcome to game night on Michigan Sports Radio. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here this evening, and we're back for another OK Red doubleheader. Clash Caledonia and the Fighting Scots, and what's become quite the rivalry between these two schools, in particular on the football field, but it's crossed over here with some good battles throughout the years on the hardwood as well. Boys and girls both ready to take to the floor tonight. First, a little bit of news as we start off our broadcast. Huge shout out to Will and everyone at the Grandville AV broadcast class. They've, of course, been putting on some great broadcasts that I'm sure a lot of you have been checking out for the last couple of years now on their YouTube page. But we are really excited to be partnered with them, and we have got their video feed. So they've got a great 3-camera setup, high-quality cameras. They're switching between them, have students on all of them, and we've been able to hook into that same feed that they've got going out to their feed. So make sure you check out their feed. They've got some different announcers that have been on the call throughout the year. So check that out, but we're really, really fortunate to the school. Obviously, first we had the huddle cam set up, now able to add this on. So it's just that much better, I think, that we are able to go to. Welcome up top, Nate Dreyer and Chandler Timmer with you here, and CT rolling on into our Centennial Securities pregame show. This one, Grandville Caledonia starting the boys' side. Desmond Young for the Bulldogs, getting another crack here, trying to get things back on the right foot after a couple of losses. I mean, again, you're seeing the 2 unbeaten teams in Rockford and East Kentwood who are playing tonight on Michigan Sports Radio as well, so make sure you check that out. A lot of other great broadcasts. Battle for the OK Blue top spot between Coopersville and Unity Christians going on. Just a huge night on MSR, including our game right here, so make sure you check that out. But Lamar Chapman, first-year head coach. We'll talk about him a lot more for Caledonia. About 10 years of D1 experience. He's been an interim head coach at Northern Illinois in the men's D1 game as well. So very experienced guy. And the thing about Caledonia, Chandler, is it's going to be a much different-looking team. In the past, we've known some of the trapping, slow play that they bring. This is an up-tempo team. It's probably not quite as up-tempo as Tuesday night in terms of what Grandville saw in that one against East Kentwood, but it is a much different feeling Caledonia team than in years past.
Yeah, definitely. I think, in years past, this two teams have quite often found themselves in similar spots in terms of the ups and downs of kind of where these programs have been at. They've quite often been in the same spots when the Grandville's been higher in the standings in the OK Red and have had some more successful seasons. Caledonia kind of been right there with them. When things have been down a little bit, they've kind of both been down at the same time, so it usually has led to some really close matchups between these two teams. And so the interesting factor in this one, as you said, the new coaching staff. So we'll kind of see a lot of familiar faces in terms of players that are back for this Fighting Scots team, but under new leadership, and so we'll see what kind of changes that brings to this matchup.
Super unique roster as well. They have their two returners in Vanderwood and Googans that come back, but a pair of senior transfers, both from East Kentwood. Along with that, they have 4 freshmen in their rotation that you're going to see as well, including a starter in Bryce Backus, the freshman, who's also an outstanding quarterback prospect going forward for the Scots on the gridiron. So a unique team for Caledonia, for certain, that we're going to get a chance to take a look at this evening. We're going to step aside, be right back here. Their Centennial Securities pregame show
was founded based on the belief that the interests of our clients must always come first.
We listen and understand your objectives before making a recommendation.
We customize the portfolio of investments to fit your goals.
It is our commitment to provide a strong line of communication.
Our services include family wealth management, saving for retirement, and estate planning and trust services.
Getting started is as easy as picking up the phone. After all, when everything is said and done, isn't it about time?
It's the final game, folks. This one wins the series.
Struck out with the cheap seats? Important things aren't worth compromising. At Farmers, we offer both quality insurance and great savings. Here, take mine.
We are Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Bullhouse rips it out. Here we go. Miles Steffen to run the first attack here. And a couple of points on that possession. Doesn't get it. Physical game early. Slow down. The game gets slopped up. And it winds up being an all-time classic. I expect nothing short of that tonight again.
Yeah, I think so.
Neves, corner, got one. And a timeout from Vanderslice Gymnasium. Centennial Securities pregame show. Let's take a look. Best thing to say about it, really fun contest. Bulldogs will get it out of the break right here with 53 seconds to go. Hey everyone, Nate from Michigan Game Night. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the end. Going by DeYoung of the Bulldogs. DeYoung for Reagan Neris, free throw line. Turns the back, left wing, Wade, triple try, splash! What a couple of moments and possessions for the Bulldog freshman. Timeout from Coach Riddell. Unbelievable. Here for Reynolds, second free throw, the right hand overhead motion is good for Caden Neves. Really terrific game for him. He's now got 10 of Grandville's 26 and a 6-point lead for the Bulldogs. Wing Sorokin bounding into the lane, left corner DeYoung, all alone, triple, splash, right down the hatch, absolutely pure for Jackson DeYoung, Grandville by 9. It is good for Caden Neves, really terrific game for him. He's now got 10 of Grandville's 26 and a 6-point lead for the Bulldogs. We'll go to highlights to start in the first half with the Neves dunk and then a couple more that we'll follow that up with. He's all alone, drives the basket, jams it, and one! He's fouled through the dunk. Caden Neves finishing strong with the right hand, has a chance for one more.
You can feel confident.
We are Centennial Securities,
an independent firm with a team of committed professionals
who strive to exceed our clients' expectations by giving outstanding service.
We're proud to be part of our community where we live and work.
You can feel confident choosing Farmers, which means a black cat doesn't always spell bad news.
What about a gang of them?
Actually, a group of cats is called a clouder. Isn't that right, tough guy?
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
All right, welcome back to Grandville. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, Centennial Securities pregame show. Grandville and Caledonia this evening from Vanderslice Gymnasium. Let's take a look at some of our leading points to help you get ready for this one. We start with actually the same first talking point that we had on Tuesday night. It is a Bulldog bounce back as Grandville once again now have dropped 2 in a row. Again, they've seen the 2 unbeaten teams in the OK Red and Rockford and East Kentwood their last couple of times out. But Grandville looking for that bounce back here tonight. Again, it's an up-tempo Caledonia team, but it's not quite what East Kentwood was, so maybe a little bit more of a quote-unquote normal game that Grandville can expect against a team that is sitting right around the 500 mark, a couple games above in Caledonia. So a good chance at home tonight for Grandville, getting another home game in a stretch of like 3 in a row here that they have to try to get a bounce back. And that, of course, is the first main story to look at for Grandville, trying to get off this 2-game schneid they've been on after winning 8 in a row before that.
Yeah, I have to imagine the Bulldogs going to be excited to hear the pressure not going to be quite as high as it was in terms of full court pressure, that is, from the Falcons in the second half there. I think a game that should play a little bit more to their style. And so after 2 straight OK Red losses, you don't want that to snowball. Of course, as you said, the top 2 teams in the OK Red and East Kentwood and Rockford. So, I mean, those are ones, of course, you go into the way the season started, and they played well in those games. But if you fall short in those, you just don't want that to snowball the rest of the season. As now we're starting to get into the meat of the OK Red schedule. So opportunity now once you're back on the home floor again, which has been a strong part of the first half of the OK Red slate, an opportunity to try to bounce back and try to make another push as the second half rolls around.
And again, big shout out to the Grandville AV class and their broadcast for letting us use their raw camera feed tonight. So they're kind of multi-camera, really great work that those kids all do. Check out their broadcast as well on YouTube, but excited to get to use that tonight. In addition, we still have got the huddle cam and different things that we can show off in the camera on us, but we've got great coverage. We're now, sometimes that huddle cam is a little bit slow to actually show you the play if there's a fast break or something, so we won't be missing action tonight because we've got actual people and actual talented people running cameras for us this evening, so we're really fortunate for that. And then we talk about Lamar's new look Scots. Lamar Chapman, the first-year head coach with Caledonia, former assistant coach at Northern Illinois, Stony Brook, and others. As I mentioned in the open, he was the interim head coach at Northern Illinois in 2020-2021 season, 9 years of assistant experience. He is a graduate of Muskegon Heights, led Muskegon Heights to a state Final Four, and I think actually a state title game berth when he was their head coach in the early 2000s, back to the high school game and back to Caledonia. He brought some talent with different transfers and things with him, but it's a very new look team. We mentioned in the open, 2 returning senior leading scorers in Googans and Vanderwood, a couple of seniors in Morris and Abel that transfer from East Kentwood, and then 4 freshmen on this roster. It's a different style, and it's a very different looking Caledonia team that I'm excited to learn about for the first time tonight.
Yeah, very unique roster construction when you kind of look at it. Is got the senior leadership back that even though a new head coach in the building, they've got that they can kind of lean on, that's going to be able to help kind of turn this program, try to help them turn the corner into being a contender. But you've also got that young talent, guys that are freshmen, getting some varsity experience early on. They're going to be players in this program for a long time. And so I think it's a Caledonia team that for quite a while has been right around 500, going back a couple years in the conference. But they've had tremendous talent, so I think you add a new coaching staff in there, and they've got a real potential to try to take off, and this is the first year doing so.
Dogs finding the way out on the floor to continue through their warm-ups. The last talking point, again, to get into is the idea of the changing Bulldogs rotation. And Chandler, it all really has revolved around the stellar play of Grandville's freshman guard, Carter Wade. He has come in, missed the first couple weeks of the year, a transfer in from Langsburg, younger brother of Grandville assistant coach Ryan Wade. Very talented basketball family, of course, on the whole. But Carter, he took a week or two, as you'd expect, to get up to the varsity speed. But, man, once he got up to the varsity speed, 10-plus points in 3 straight games, only 3 against East Kentwood. But he got the start against East Kentwood. He'll get the start again tonight. It's a different-looking team. Jackson DeYoung is so much more confident playing off the ball as well and in better position. I mean, the team just, even though a couple losses in there, the team's just clicking really well, this changing rotation and the impact of the freshman guard for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we continue each game that goes along. You kind of can see the chemistry gets a little bit better, and you see this team starting to play good, even though the loss is right in there against some really good teams. But I think overall they're starting to find a rotation that they like, with Carter Wade mostly running the point for them. Of course, the scoring early on was huge for them, and scoring in double digits when he throws that in there. Now I think you're going to continue to see them rely on him a little bit more now that that's kind of expected, and he's been living up to the hype so far.
And a huge bonus, too, for the Bulldogs to have a guy then like Corbin Heckman able to come off the bench who can run the point as a forward, bring some extra scoring off the bench as well, which is something that Grandville had been trying to find in the first couple of weeks of the year. So everything just works, I feel like, a little bit better with this rotation, that everyone can still get kind of their similar minutes, but you can change up some of the looks. And this is more, we've been saying it since the start of the year, this Grandville team is going to look different every week all the way up until March. And this is kind of the first look at what I think this team's end of conference season and playoff look is going to be.
Yeah, I think so. I think definitely, I mean, you can even look back to the East Kentwood loss last week and Coach Young leaving those guys in there against that pressure and some senior leadership on the Falcons, or experienced leadership on that Falcons team. And yeah, there were some moments where Carter Wade, was turning the basketball over in the backcourt, but Coach Young leaving him in the fire and letting him develop, because he knows that as the season goes along, you're going to need him in moments like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Talked a little bit again about Coach Chapman, just put that up on the screen, some of his background information. We talk about his team. Enrique Morris, senior guard. Luau Abel, the senior guard and wing, terrific defender. Both transfers from East Kentwood. And then Googans and Vanderwood, we've seen them in the past. They both can create in different ways. Googans a terrific 4 that can handle the ball and score. Vanderwood, I mean, there's been Vanderwoods between he and his brother playing the same way on the wing for, I think, 6 straight years now here at Caledonia. Some good talent, along with Bryce Backus, the freshman guard outside of that. So it's a unique matchup, Chandler, for Grandville. What are we kind of looking at quickly as we wrap up our pregame show with kind of some of the keys to the game for them to get that bounce back tonight?
Yeah, I think for the Bulldogs, they need a quick start. I think we mentioned coming off 2 losses in the OK Red. I think it's important for them to get off to a quick start, especially shooting the 3 ball. I think Neves and Hybor, if they can get off to a hot start, see a couple of them go through, as a team that can get a lot of momentum back, and you can forget about those losses pretty quickly if you start off here with some momentum.
All right, the national anthem, player introductions on deck. Let's send it on down to the PA, and we'll send it on down for our national anthem.
This time we ask that you please stand and the gentlemen remove their caps for the playing of our national anthem. tonight's game between the Fighting Scots of Caledonia and your Bulldogs of Grandville. Starting with the visitors from Caledonia. 0, Enrique Morris. Number 1, Lula Abel. Number 2, Jake Williams. Number 3, Kyle Vanderslice. And number 15, Bryce Backus. The Fighting Scots are coached by Mr. Lamar Chapman. And now, for your Grandville Bulldogs. Number 1, Jackson Dion. Number 3, Carter Ray. Number 5, Kate Neves. Number 3, Colin Highball. And the big man in the middle, number 12, Cameron Rodriguez. Your Bulldogs are coached by Mr. Desmond Young.
All right, ready to go. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. We'll give right before we go one last big thank you to the Grandville AV class, Will and everyone there for helping hook us up with their terrific video feed this evening, switching between a whole host of cameras and high quality. So that's really exciting and glad to partner with that and help bring a little bit better coverage. Also, please make sure you check out their broadcast over on YouTube as well. Cam Regneris, Jaden Guggens on the jump. Guggens sweeps it straight back. Abel sets it up for Enrique Morris. And here we go. Those two are the pair of transfers coming in from East Kenwood for first-year head coach Lamar Chapman this year. Backus, the standout freshman, feeds Morris. Triple try. Got it. Quick start for the Scots as Morris knocks that one down from the wing.
I wondered how these transfers would affect the matchup between these two teams that know each other very well. And right away, Morris knocking down the three, the first offensive possession for the Scots.
Colin Highbore handing off on for Regneris. Caden Neves curling with it for the Bulldogs. He had 10 points against East Kentwood. Morris will pick this one up. And the Scots, again, a little bit of pace, will get ready to run the attack. 45 seconds gone in the first. Morris stopping Carter Wade. The freshman draws the defense on him. DeYoung going with Abel. Now DeYoung will switch on to Morris. Neves able to jump the passing lane. And Caden Neves gets the Bulldogs on the board. A nice run out, too.
Yeah, great work for Neves as the Scots setting up their offensive possession there, getting a set ready, kind of lackadaisical. Neves able to see that pass before it was made, tip it free, take it all the way.
Grandville back in their typical man-to-man defense here this evening after playing that matchup zone against East Kentwood. Nice active hands from Highbore, but Guggens settles it down. Turning at the block and unable to get the roll over top of Regneris. Good board to Neves. He's had some good two-way play to start, feeding DeYoung. Regneris for Wade, the freshman. Both teams man-to-man defensively. Abel is all over him. Now Guggens picks up the defense on the dog freshman. Highbore. Regneris corner. DeYoung lobbing back for Cam. Has the size advantage. Here comes the double, and the foul will be our first of the ball game. 3-2 Cal, 6:12 to go in the first. That foul on the Scots will be the first on Abel.
Bulldogs got the switch that they wanted defensively. Abel on Regneris. Regneris going to try to back him down into the post.
Neves, corner, Wade, triple try for the lead off the back rim, runs to his own board, swatted by Backus, freshman on freshman. It's the Bulldog freshman able to maintain the possession, feeds Regneris. Extended possession right here. Bulldogs very content, CT, to take their time to set things up. Neves with a bunch of space. Missed it all, and Abel rips down the board. Triple try rattles out for Vanderwood, and they'll be taken back on here by Grandville and Caden Neves. Kind of a lazy start to this ball game a little bit. Highbore for DeYoung. And Carter Wade, 10 points in 3 of the last 4 for the Bulldogs, getting his second start of the season. All alone again, Caden Neves, and Grandville has their first lead of the ball game. Neves all 5 for the Dogs.
Very good start for Caden Neves, and the confidence right there. Had a wide open 3 the previous possession, airballed it, didn't hesitate, had another look, almost the exact same spot, that time drilled it.
Abel Euroing and able to get the finger roll touch, and we're nodded right back up.
Abel, fantastic move, long strides, little fake pass, kick to the corner, opens up the lane there. Tough underhand finish.
While Abel, Coach Chapman talked about him as maybe their best on-ball defender on the wing as well. He drew that matchup from Wade, poked around by Guggens and company, and Enrique Morris is on the run out. Vanderwood out of the corner. Feeding Guggens. Guggens versus Ragnaris. Shimmy, faking, handing off. Morris following. Can't get the finish. Jaden Guggens so crafty at the block. Just can't quite get the finish against maybe West Michigan's best post defender. Neves pulls the trigger and is unable to knock that one down. 1 of 3 start from behind the arc, but 2 of 4 from the field for Caden Neves in the opening part of this one, halfway through the first. Vanderwood drives on Neves, and Kai Vanderwood will send himself to the line with the first foul on the Bulldogs and the first foul on Neves in the ball game. 3:56 in the first.
Yeah, Vanderwood, interesting matchup between he and Neves on this end of the floor. First time we see Vanderwood be aggressive and try to put the ball on the deck. Got a little bit of body from Neves as he was trying to go underneath the basket.
So Vanderwood puts the Scots back on top. He averaged 13.5 points per game last season as their second leading scorer, just behind Guggens, and he has a Calvin University basketball offer on the table, as Wade will take it. Freshman on freshman, got shouldered off there by Backus, given up top for Neves, driving and drawing the contact. Now Neves right back to the line as he's doing a lot of good work early for the Bulldogs. They're slashing. That's foul number 2 on Abel, as he's drawn both of the calls on the Scots early.
Could be interesting to see if Abel going to remain in the game for now with those 2 fouls, but I have to imagine he might be finding the bench here pretty quickly as Neves able to draw the reach in on him on the drive.
Right now, all 6 points for Grandville still from Neves. Boston Postma is in. It looks like Neves will be taking a seat for Corbin Heckman in just a moment. Ben Geertis, one of the freshmen up from the bench and set to come in for the Scots. Here's Morris for Vanderwood. Backus. Morris again, able to get the step, blocked away by Postma, but a foul is called on the Bulldogs senior. Heckman comes in along with Geertis. They will come in a moment. 3.5 to go. That's foul number 1 on Postma. 2 on either team here in the first. 3.5 to go. It's Enrique Morris going to the stripe. All knotted at 6. Unable to get the rattle on the first for Enrique. Quick rest for Caden Neves, who again has provided all of Grandville's offense so far in this one. Morris puts the Scots back on top. Taylor has also checked in for Cal. Carter Wade to run it for the Bulldogs. Here's Postma, peering around Morris. Cam Ragnaris able to get it nicely to Heckman, and Corbin Heckman is able to get the finish down low. Grandville goes back on top.
It's kind of the look that they can throw out there when Heckman's out on the floor, now coming off the bench. They can put Ragnaris out on the outside and put Heckman down in the post and let him go to work where he's got some nice moves. Able to use one right there.
Jaden Guggens turning, had to get around the long reaching arms of Ragnaris. Board stays out, triple for Morris. Geertis able to rip down the board. Again, 4 freshmen on this roster. We've seen a couple of them already for Coach Chapman and Caledonia. Pull up Vanderwood. Off the mark from the elbow, board to Regnerus.
A couple opportunities for the Scots off the offensive glass. The Bulldogs, though, staying strong defensively.
In the corner, it'll stay with Grandville. 2.5 to go. Morris will take a seat right here as Corbin Raffler, the senior guard, is out for the first time this evening for the Scots. Highboard takes a seat as Vanderhart, the Bulldogs sophomore, will draw in the lineup. A couple of underclassmen out there for Grandville, one of which with the basketball. Here's Carter Wade, corner, Heckman, triple try. Board nicely tipped on to Cam Regnerus, doubled, Vanderhart. Back to Cam after Vanderhart thought about that one. The double is brought, and Regnerus turns it over to Geerdes, who was able to jump the passing lane.
Regnerus trying to get along the baseline as the double team came, but the Scots also anticipating that, able to jump in there just in time.
Googans, he can work outside, attacks well off the bounce like this, swatted by Regnerus. Outlet pass all the way down the floor to Postma. Vanderhart stepping around the defender, driving and scoring. Nice job by Vanderhart. Able to fake out Aaron Taylor, and the Bulldogs are the first in double digits.
Yeah, easily could have tried to get that 3-up, had some space, but likely would have been tipped as the defender there came in late. So great recognition, seeing that by Vanderhart, able to make the move.
Googans will kick it out, get taken away by a sprinting Carter Wade. Wade to the cup, can't get the finish. Geerdes will rip it down and run it out with Corbin Raffler. Minute 20 in the first. Googans turning at the line. Turns the back on Cam Regnerus. Googans. Taylor. Can't get the finish over top of Cam, who's soaking everything up defensively inside right now for the Bulldogs. Final 60 seconds. Trailing triple. Carter Wade. Grinding start to this ball game. Two offenses that both are around 55+ points per game on the season. We're going to be short of that right now. Nice quick pass and good finish with the touch in the lane from Jaden Googans. He is one of the more creative and crafty scorers. Not the biggest guy with his size, not the best ball handler, not the best shooter, but he's just always so creative and crafty to get finishes like that one, especially working against a guy like Cam Regnerus. Leading scorer last year and again this year is Googans. Whipping all alone. Heckman reverse. Can't get the finish. Good move. Couldn't get the follow. And a foul was called on Heckman at the end of it as well. Third foul on the Bulldogs. 16 seconds to go in the first, and foul 1 on Corbin Heckman. Sorokin in for Wade as he'll get a quick seat before the end of the quarter.
The two seniors there working well for the Bulldogs between Regnerus and Heckman. Tried the baseline pass earlier, got it intercepted in between. That time, Regnerus fit it through in a nice cut by Heckman. Just a really tough shot to try to get the English on that one.
Blocking foul called on Xander Sorokin, 4th on the Bulldogs. So got to be a little careful now because another foul will see free throws. First foul on Sorokin. Geerdes to throw in with 9 seconds. 1-point ball game. Tough game to find room to breathe and shots to go down in this one. Vanderwood will try the tough triple around and over top of defenders at the end of the quarter. Kai Vanderwood got the finish, and Cal leads after one. We're going to step aside, be right back here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio.
It's a beautiful time of year, but for many, it is also the beginning of allergy season, which means lots of sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, runny nose, constant drainage, or ear pressure. These are all allergy symptoms we regularly treat. Don't let your allergy stop you from enjoying what you love to do outdoors. We have several ear, nose, throat, and allergy specialists ready to see you. Find us online at MichiganENTallergy.com. We look forward to helping you enjoy the outdoors again.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
All All right, welcome back to Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, MGN on Michigan Sports Radio. 12-10 Caledonia after one as Kai Vanderwood hit a tough triple right at the end of that quarter. Thanks again to our friends at Grandville, their AV class, for helping provide us the video coverage and the scenes that you are seeing on your screen this evening with their multi-cam broadcast that they help bring to the table. So really glad that for future Grandville home games we'll be able to see this as well, and we're doing some video coverage. Vanderhart feeding on for Sorokin, and back to the Dogs. Sophomore able to break the ankles at Geertis. Off the mark on the triple try. Vanderwood down with it.
Start the second quarter, the Scots going to look 2-3 zone right there. The Bulldogs recognizing it. Nice move. A little step back from Vanderhart, got himself some space.
Vanderhart active hands trying to rip it away. Vanderwood with 4 in the first quarter, including that triple right around the buzzer. Postma sticking with him defensively. Backus, the freshman, feeds the senior Corbin Raffler. Back to Backus, turns his back on Cam Regneris. Geertis, baseline, pull up, got it. Crafty little move right there to drive around Vanderhart, get the finish. Cal by a couple of scores.
Yeah, Vanderhart caught with his eyes inside there a little bit, allowed Geertis to step inside the arc in the mid-range. Looked like he might have been grabbed from behind as well.
And back to this kind of switching matchup 2-3 zone. Postma out of the corner, knocks it down for the Bulldogs. Grandville back within 1.
That's big. Postma getting some minutes off the bench here early in this game, providing a scoring touch after the offense has been dormant a little bit and slow to start in the first quarter.
Geertis cut off. Backus following. Second chance. Tipping board. See Hackman and the Bulldogs. Regneris. Sorokin, corner, Postma, space again. Can't get the rattle on that one, looked good. Cam Regneris, by the way, still scoreless in this ball game. 10 minutes into the game.
I really haven't been able to get him many touches either. Got fouled one time down low, but really haven't been able to give him many chances.
Tough turning shot off the mark, and a foul on the fight for the basketball will go Grandville's way on Backus, his first. And first of the quarter on either team. Caden Neves, Grandville leading scorer. He's got 6 and have their first 6 of the ball game back in here for the Dogs.
I have to imagine now that the Bulldogs can set some stuff up here, have to expect them to try to dump the ball down to Regneris at some point. See if the Scots look like they're going to remain in this matchup zone.
Yeah, kind of a 1-2-2, 3-2 type matchup look they've been bringing. Hackman down low, can't get the touch. Out of the chase. It'll go Caledonia's way on the alternating possession. Pretty physical basketball game staying on in this one.
Hackman's been real close to having a couple lanes just partially roll out for him. Great high-low pass. Regneris down to Heckman again. Those two connecting. Tough look, some late swat attempt. Heckman tried to rush that one up a little bit, but it's been very close to having a couple lay-ins.
Enrique Morris among the changes right here. Jarrell Jefferson, the other freshman we have not seen yet for Caledonia, or one of the couple freshmen we haven't seen yet. The only freshman we haven't seen so far is Dallas Moody, the freshman who is their starting cornerback on the football team, so we know him pretty well going back to the fall. Probably their starting running back going forward, I think, as well, with a team that's got to find a new running back for the first time in a couple of years in Caledonia. Enrique Morris, triple try. Unable to get that one to go. Regneris settles down the rebound. Hackman back into the cup. Good move, no finish, and the putback nicely for Corbin Heckman. Grandville goes back on top. Some crafty moves from Corbin Heckman in the early going of this one. He's got 4.
Yeah, after the second effort there too. Initially on the short little jumper, could tell he was going to be off and able to get in between the defender and the basket to get the rebound.
Jaden Guggens, low driver, right down the hatch. The big guy stepping out and knocking that one down.
3 triples, 3 different players so far for the Scots, able to hit him at some crucial times. Bulldogs finally able to get offensive bucket. Scots go right down and hit a 3.
Caden Neves off the slash, goes to the line.
Neves has been really aggressive in the time that he's been out there. Of course, started the game, had 6 points right away. He's been on the bench for a couple minutes, but now right away again, able to attack, draw the foul.
That is going to be foul 1 on Enrique Morris. Second foul on the Scots, who lead it by 2. Caledonia 6-4 on the year, 1-2 in the red. Grandville 9-2, or 9-3 now overall, and 2-2 within the OK red. And Caden Neves now with 7 for the Bulldogs and a chance to knot it right here. Neves able to convert both. We have a tie basketball game. Caden Neves averaging 9.8 points per game on the year, but he's been having some of his best scoring outbursts in the last couple of games. Googans again able to get the shoulder and get the finish around Cam Regneris. Good tough finish right there. He's got 7 now in the ball game to match Neves' total.
Googans has been going right at Regneris, trying to play physical, right into the chest, giving him a little bit of a shoulder. Regneris has been holding up for the most part. Right there, Googans able to get some separation.
Nice find, no look, Heckman, and Neves the finish right down the hatch. How about that pass and that finish?
Yeah, great work from the Bulldogs there. Some team offense, able to get some separation, kick it back out. Neves again hits another 3.
11 points for Caden Neves. Grandville back on top. And Heckman gets whistled. Again, this is what I love about this rotation that Grandville brings with Heckman coming off the bench. He can still play plenty of minutes, but he just provides that extra. He's just a unique player, how he can be a point forward, and he's so crafty, and now you have to account for that coming off the bench, and the Bulldogs can get the matchup he wants, and we've really seen him manipulate that matchup well with 4 points and that nice assist as well. Googans followed by Regneris. Grandville up 20-19, and again, Cam Regneris has not scored yet tonight with 3:44. That's the first foul on Cam, 2 on either team in the quarter. Paletti throws it in up top. Backus, the freshman, back out there. Vanderwood driving past Neves, stopping, popping, can't get the rattle. Dangerous on that quick stop and turnaround. We've seen him go to that shot a couple of times already, create some space.
Yeah, a shot he's very comfortable with. That's definitely in his repertoire of things he can do. That's not a out of rhythm shot for him. Able to draw it up one-on-one there, turn around, get the step back.
Neves into another 3, got another 3. Crafty move into the triple. Caden Neves on fire, has 14 in the ball game.
Yeah, I felt like Neves getting off to a hot start was going to be big for the Bulldogs in their offense, and he's done just that. He's been lights out here in the first half, knocking down multiple threes, been really aggressive off the bounce as well.
Googans, good move, can't get the finish though. Able to get around Cam Regneris. Carter Wade falls in the backcourt, keeps the dribble nicely, and he'll keep it going. High board for Neves. Neves 14 of Grandville's 23 right now. Wade with some space. Heckman the board and a foul. Third foul on the Scots. 2:24 in the second.
As soon as Regneris touches the ball in the paint there, the double team coming. That's a good way to get your offense rolling. You can see Morris coming over there to try to help out. Leaves the corner 3 open for Wade. And Heckman with a really strong rebound attempt.
It's foul 2 on Backus. Regneris looking for points. Looking for points some more and getting his points. Regneris on the score sheet for the first time. Grandville to 25.
Cam's not had a lot of opportunities on the offensive end and finally got one there close to the basket. Wasn't going to be denied.
Landon Terry set to check in for the Bulldogs in just a moment. At the block, Paletti. Googans over top of Regneris, who maybe just tipped a piece of it. Neves off and running. Wade. Swung corner, Highbore, quick trigger. Neves second chance and the putback. 16 for Neves, timeout. Caledonia, what a start for the Bulldogs in this one, especially for Caden Neves. He is rolling all over the place. We're going to step aside, be right back here from Grandville.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, 1:45 in the second, 27-19, and led by 16 from Caden Neves. Grandville's offense in the second quarter starting to find their legs, CT.
Yeah, definitely starting to take off a little bit thanks to Caden Neves. 10 points in this quarter alone. Knocked down a couple threes. They're a strong offensive rebound and a putback. Things starting to break the Bulldogs' way a little bit as they've got their biggest lead.
First timeout call to the ball game. 3 fouls on Caledonia in the quarter, 2 on Grandville. Here's Jaden Googans, leading scorer for the Scots with 7. And a whistle and a foul will go on the Bulldogs. Go on Landon Terry, who draws one right after he came on the floor and is given a little bit of a rest to Cam Regneris. 3 on either team now in the quarter. Final 95 seconds of a fast-moving first half in this one. Definitely a little bit different tempo to this ball game than what the Dogs saw Tuesday night. Bounding to the lane, Googans gets the finish. Again, nice little tricky finish. And the Scots get past the 20-point threshold.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty well down low, and now that Regneris out of the game catching a breather, they go right to him, able to make another nice little spin move. He's been playing physical all night long.
Hackman unable to settle down the Neves feed. Scott's taking Enrique Morris, transfer from East Kentwood, a senior. Point guard this year for Coach Lamar Chapman in his first year. Again, Coach Chapman, 9 years as an assistant at the Division I level, including was an interim head coach in 2021 at Northern Illinois. Vanderwood tries the deep 3, trying to shoot it over top of Neves. Hackman was off and running. He'll now slow it down to the final 45 seconds. Timeout called by Coach Young, as he'll take a quick 30-second timeout, and that's his first of the ball game. 27-21 Grandville. Welcome up top here to Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. Again, first quarter back and forth sloppy. The measure of the second quarter has been the Grandville offenses, led by Caden Neves. They've started to find their scoring streak, and a lot of it completely shut down offensively, Cam Regneris, but a lot of open looks off of that because of the way Cam's been shut down.
Yeah, they've been doubling pretty much anytime Regneris is touching the basketball, and they haven't been able to get it down to him very often. But when they have, they've got some open looks off, but he's been able to kick it out. The smart basketball player that he is, understanding the spacing of the floor, and able to find his open guys, and that's led to some good looks offensively.
6-point lead for the Bulldogs. Carter Wade to Regneris, gets us back underway. Cam stopping, spinning in the lane. Looking for second chance points again. And Caledonia gets the basketball. Just traffic anywhere, anytime. Number 12 in white has had the basketball down low.
He was working, pivoting, going back and forth, trying to find somewhere to get it up. Had a couple chances at it. Just, again, going to try to go up multiple times, but a lot of traffic down there. The Scots able to finally get enough of a box out.
It's like Cal waiting for the final shot here. Enrique Morris, loosely watched by Carter Wade. Morris, Googans, turning and unable to get the finish, reaching around Regneris. Cam flings it short from three-quarters court. And we go to halftime, 27-21 Grandville. At the break, we go to our Farmers Insurance halftime show, Chandler, and I'll go to you, wrap up the first half. Again, first quarter, just a grinder, and Grandville, and in particular, Caden Neves, say his name again, leading the way, and Grandville takes a 6-point lead into the locker room.
Yeah, I think both teams kind of fighting a little bit offensively, a slower-paced game in general, though, in the first quarter, but Caden Neves really taking things over on the offensive end for the Bulldogs, and sometimes that's what it takes is one guy to be aggressive, to take a game over and kind of wheel the rest of the team on. It kind of looked like that's what Caden Neves was able to do there in the second quarter.
All right, we're going to step aside and come back with a lot more here on our Farmers Insurance halftime show, including we'll have your scoring recap. We'll have some highlights from the first half as well. 27-21 Grandville over Caledonia at the break.
What would you do with some extra time? Shop Fastlane today.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. Have you recently collided with a deer or been caught in an unfortunate accident? Don't worry, Car Center Collision and Glass is your trusted partner to bring your vehicle back to life. With convenient branches in Cedar Springs, Burton Heights, Alpine, and Big Rapids, we're right around the corner to provide expert assistance. From collision repairs to mechanical fixes, we're your one-stop solution for all your car needs. Check us out at carcentermi.com.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Michigan hearing experts sell and service several brands of hearing aids. Are you having trouble having a conversation or unable to hear the latest play of the game? We perform comprehensive hearing exams and use real ear measurements to ensure optimal functioning hearing aids for your unique needs. Our highly trained doctors of audiology are dedicated to helping you reconnect with your world. Visit MichiganHearingExperts.com to find a location near you and take the first step towards better hearing with Michigan Hearing Expert.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. A class is elected each year and then honored at an induction ceremony in the fall. They also prevent annual events in support of West Michigan athletics, and they raise funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow them on Facebook or check out the pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at grshof.com.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Grandville Farmers Insurance Halftime Show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, 27-21. Grandville over Caledonia at the break. CT, if you can take us through our scoring recap, then we'll take a look back at a couple highlights from the first half of play.
All right, for the Scots, Guggens led them with 9 points. Morris and Vanderwood both with 4. Geertis with 2 and Abel with 2 for the Bulldogs. And leading all scorers in the first half, Caden Neves with 16 points. Heckman had 4, Postma with 3, Cam Regneris with 2, and Vanderhart also with 2 points.
All right, well, let's take a look at some first half highlights, and as you'd imagine, Caden Neves will be involved in a couple of them, but the first we go to Jaden Guggens, who we use the word crafty to describe him a couple of times, and really some moves from Neves as well, but Guggens in particular, he put some good moves on Cam Regneris, including this finish right here. Caden Neves averaging 9.8 points per game on the year, but he's been having some of his best scoring outbursts in the last couple of games. Guggens again able to get the shoulder and get the finish around Cam Regneris. Good tough finish right there. Then it was probably the best play of the first half. It was a no-look, heck of a behind-the-head, behind-the-back feed from Heckman, and Neves able to drill the wide-open triple to put the Bulldogs back on top at the time.
right into the chest, giving him a little bit of a shoulder. Regnerus has been holding up for the most part. Right there, Guggen's able to get some separation.
Nice find, no look. Heckman and Neves the finish right down the hatch. We were both just chuckling again, watching that again, as Heckman just flipped that thing back there, and Neves hit it. Some good moves put on by Neves as well before he was able to knock down this triple a little bit later on in the second quarter.
Out of rhythm shot for him, able to draw it up one-on-one there, turn around, get the step back.
Neves into another three, got another three. Crafty move into the triple. Caden Neves on fire, has 14. All right, so again, 27-21, Grandville over Caledonia at the half. We're going to take one more quick break and be right back here from Grandville.
We are Centennial Securities,
an independent firm with a team of committed professionals
who strive to exceed our clients' expectations by giving outstanding service.
We're proud to be part of our community where we live and work.
Upgrade to Music Jams Premium to get uninterrupted listening on all your favorite tunes. Click here to start your 7-day free trial.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising. Which is why with Farmers, you don't have to compromise quality to get great savings on your insurance. I got this.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
All right, we're back. Nate Dreyer, Jim Timmer, game night on Michigan Sports Radio, wrapping up our Farmers Insurance halftime show. Both teams out there warming up a little bit before the second half here, CT. And as we get a little bit closer to the second half, again, for Grandville, Caden Neves has certainly been the one lighting it up with 16 points for the Bulldogs. But I think for Grandville, obviously, looking to find a way to get a little bit more room to breathe for Cam Regnerus. Now, the offense has been fine without him going, and kind of because he's been double-teamed, there's been a lot of open looks. But certainly Grandville will be looking to get their big man a little bit more involved in the offense, unless everyone just keeps hitting open threes off him, then I guess just let him pass out of it.
I'd have to imagine they're going to try to get him some scoring opportunities. I think nothing else allowing him to touch the basketball. It's been a recipe that's worked for this Bulldogs team for quite a few years now, as Regnerus has that passing ability that even if he's touching the ball down low, he doesn't have to be going up with it. He can create a lot of movement all around the floor as soon as the defense has to respect him touching the ball. So whether it's going to be post touches where he's trying to score, or whether it's going to be to try to get the offense initiated.
Quick look, by the way, before we go to our second half, to get a chance to get to this in our Centennial Securities pregame show. Standings in the OK Red coming tonight. Rockford, East Kentwood. I have not yet seen a score of that ball game, but it is on Michigan Sports Radio with Joey Sutherland on the call. It's undefeated versus undefeated. A very interesting game, but a look at the OK Red, a loaded OK Red again, and it's 4 versus 5 here tonight at Vanderslice Gymnasium. We'll have the girls' game a little bit later on. Again, East Kentwood is where you want to be tonight. Both of those games are for first place, unbeaten first place in the OK Red. Is maybe a little bit of a flipped favorite in each of those games, though, to some extent as well. I think when you look at the girls' game and maybe the top team in the state, Rockford, and then we saw what East Kentwood is on the boys' team on Tuesday night. Going to be a tough team for anyone to beat. Lineups that open the ball game open our second half of play, including Lual Abel, the senior, who took a couple quick fouls in the first half for Cal, back out there to start the second. 6-point lead for the Bulldogs as we get underway. Grandville freshman Carter Wade with the basketball had held quiet and off the score sheet in the first half. Hybor missing Regnerus, but a foul as Regnerus got grabbed there by Guggens, trying to snag that basketball. 7:46 in the quarter. First foul of the quarter on Caledonia. That's foul 1 as well on Guggens.
Yeah, and I think Hybor, another guy, didn't score there in the first half, and if you told the Bulldogs between Hybor and Regnerus combined they'd have 2 points at halftime, and they had the lead, they'd be a bit surprised, but it's been working so far.
Plus Wade. Add him into that as well.
Exactly.
That trio combined 2 points for Grandville. Regnerus to the cup. Blocking foul will send him to the line. How about one step further? Outside of Neves, I mean, the entire starting lineup, because Young also held off score sheet. So 2 for everyone in the starting lineup except for Neves, and they went by 6 at the break.
Yeah.
Not the way they normally draw it up for Coach Young.
No, not at all, but it's worked. But you see the adjustment right here, first 27 seconds. They go right to Regnerus, get him a chance to try to make a move.
Cam able to get the conversion. Abel gets tripped up on his way to the basket. First foul of the quarter on the Bulldogs. So the other quick change, first 40 seconds, 3 total foul calls. So a little bit more contact, a little bit more calls coming in that regard to start this half. Vanderwood out of the corner again. I've said it a couple times, I want to thank him again because Will and company are doing such a great job. Thanks to the Grandville AV class for providing the pictures that you're seeing on your screen. We've hooked into their raw video feed, multi-cam that they bring to the table. We have another foul on the floor. This one's on DeYoung. 4 total and 2 on either team in the first not even minute here.
Looks like might be headed for some free throws in this quarter if this keeps up.
We don't see him as much anymore with the new foul shooting and bonus rules, but I certainly think you may have just hit the nail on the head. Vanderwood, Neves going to work. Here's Googans off the bounce, can't get the roll. Board down to Colin Hybor. Grandville, I'm sure really as we work our way closer now to the second half of the OK Red season, we just love to see Colin Hybor get back to some of that offensive edge that he had in the non-conference portion of the season. Wade, tough pull-up. He still is looking for his first points of the game as Abel is off and running. Drives on Neves. Vanderwood, put back. I think Regnerus got a piece of it, but Vanderwood able to muscle it in anyway.
Scott's even off the rebound there, chased down, able to go a little bit quickly. We'll see if they try to turn the tempo up in this game a little bit. Not to the same degree the Falcons did on Tuesday, but if they can provide a little pressure, maybe get out and run a little bit.
I was talking to Grandville assistant coach Ryan Wade before the game, and he kind of said that this is a team, look at some of their scoring totals, they certainly are a lot faster than last year's Cal team, and they have the ability with some of the athletes on their team as well to be able to run more if they want to. So it certainly would not be surprising to see down the stretch in this ball game. Regnerus going to take it himself, can't get the touch. Googans will run it out. Morris with some space. Regnerus and the Dogs running again. DeYoung touches, triple, Neves. Wade able to steal the board away from Morris, and Carter Wade will get a chance to go to the line for his first points of the ball game. Third foul of the quarter on Caledonia with 5:39 in the third. That is foul 3 on Enrique Morris.
Yeah. Scott's been dealing with a little bit of foul trouble. Abel with 2 early on in the game, had to sit most of the first half. He's back out there and can play a little bit more comfortably now, but as you mentioned, Morris 3 fouls is going to be an issue for him the rest of the way. One thing Carter Wade has shown early on each and every night on the floor, he's going to give it his all. He's on the floor pretty much more than any player on either team. He's diving the last time down, tried to dive for the loose ball, ended up on the floor and was the last one back, and you're going to have to live with that sometimes, but they're able to poke free, get himself another chance when there's only 2 guys on that end of the floor yet.
He plays with an extreme amount of confidence for a freshman as well. That's the one thing we noted really from day one that he came in to this lineup in late December against Spring Lake. His first game in is, I mean, he was not afraid from moment one, stepping up to the varsity pace and the varsity game. But of course, you know, with what these kids do in AAU and club stuff as well nowadays, that's so true of younger players more and more in general, and certainly Carter, one of those type of players, but a very aggressive high school level here in the OK Red that he's been learning as Kai Vanderwood draws the contact from Caden Neves, and he will go to the stripe. That's foul 2 on Neves, 3 on either team, not even 3 minutes in to the quarter. I think your prophecy is going to reign true right here on the foul shooting coming up.
Yeah, it seems like we're headed that way, and we've seen both teams now be able to attack off the bounce. Vanderwood wasn't able to do much in the first half. Him and Neves going back and forth on either end, and this time able to put a couple different moves together. Very crafty from Vanderwood. Neves stuck with him pretty much the whole way, but then right as he went up for the shot, the bump from Neves.
Vanderwood was 6 in this ball game, now with 7. And again, remember a Calvin University offer on the table for the very, very talented senior that we've seen. I think this is his 3rd year up on varsity. Abel versus Wade to the wing. 3 minutes gone in the 3rd quarter. Cam Regneris, high bore, swinging to DeYoung. Great ball movement here to the corner. Carter Wade off the up fake. Can't get the finger roll. Gets the second chance and goes to the line. Wade able to stick with it. Fighting it to find the finishes right now, but his effort will get him back to the stripe.
Yeah, it'll make up for a lot when you can get your own rebound like that, even though a couple defenders there for Caledonia doesn't give up. Able to jump up a couple different times, gather the rebound, eventually get to the free throw line, but prior to the attack from Wade, great ball movement. The Scots chasing it the entire time, swinging it around. Eventually, Wade able to find an alley.
This team can play a really pretty brand of basketball when things are right. And number 3 is a big part of that for the Bulldogs. We've certainly seen in the last couple of games. Able to hit them both. And again, Wade, 10 points in 3 of his last 4. Really, it was 3 in a row coming into the East Kentwood game, where it was his first game starting, held a little bit quieter as most of the Grandville lineup was, scoring just 39 in that game against the Red Hot Falcons. 4.5 to go in the 3rd. Morris, corner Vanderwood. Kai Vanderwood to the cup and 1. Tough finish through the contact will send the senior back to the line. And now there are 4 fouls on either team in the quarter.
Yeah, Vanderwood starting to feel a little bit, maybe trying to do what Neves did early on for the Bulldogs and kind of take over on the offensive end for his team. Now in the 3rd quarter, 5 points, an opportunity to tack on another, this time attacking from the corner along the baseline.
Able to complete the 3-point play nicely. Vanderwood now into double-digit scoring. Sorokin, offensive foul off the ball on an illegal screen. The whistle, Jackson DeYoung. That's 5 on Grandville, so Caledonia will, with the next foul now, be shooting some free throws.
Off the ball, DeYoung trying to set a screen to get an open look for Sorokin. Trying to set a physical one so that he could potentially shoot that 3 from the left wing, but a little too much movement there. Moved as he was trying to do so and picked up the off-ball foul.
Aaron Taylor able to find Vanderwood. Neves sticks with him. Morris. Taylor, a little bit of space. Fires over top of Heckman. Vanderhart runs to the board for the Bulldogs. 3.5 plus a couple of seconds here in the 3rd. Corbin Heckman. Jabbing on Aaron Taylor. Heckman fakes, hooks, scores. Hung on the rim, but Corbin Heckman gets the rattle and roll.
The Bulldogs have been able to go to that look a couple different times successfully. When Regneris and Guggens are matched up on each other, they can put Regneris out on the perimeter, take Guggens, who's the best interior defender for the Scots, and then allow Heckman to go to work on the inside against the smaller defender.
At a much slower pace, this game has a little bit of the feel of Tuesday night, kind of in reverse. Just a kind of constant 7 to 9 point game. You know, neither team can really get complete breathing room as Cam Regneris sends it away. Taylor bounds to the rack. It'll stay with Caledonia. Postman will come in here for Neves.
Regneris got a lot of that one right in the middle of the floor, blocking it back. Scott's able to gather it initially, and then Sorokin are able to get in there and knock that one free on the 2nd attempt.
Taylor looking for Abel, who was not ready for that on the handoff. Vanderwood to the cup. It's a strip, and it'll stay with Cal again. Here comes Backus, the freshman, in for Taylor. 2.5 to go, third quarter. And Bryce Backus, 6'3" freshman forward, one of 4 freshmen on this Caledonia team, and one of a very highly ranked quarterback prospect as well coming up for the Scots in the future. Abel out of the corner. Luell Abel whips the hands free, and he'll go to the stripe. 6th foul of the quarter on the Bulldogs, already in the bonus for the Scots. 2.5 to go in the third. Again, 4 fouls on Caledonia, so free throws the rest of the way for every call that we get whistled.
Yeah, the couple fouls early on really hurt Abel's ability to impact this game from the start. Had 2 points early. This will be his opportunity for his next scoring chance, but see right there, another guy that can attack from the outside. Wing player that can get downhill.
First one off the mark. Gibby Connolly in for the Bulldogs for Regnerus, who I think that foul was on. Backus able to snag the board, get a second chance here for the Scots. Googans with a bit of space, late arriving Heckman. Low driver off the mark, off and running Boston Postma. Abel sticking with Sorokin nicely around the screen there. Xander Sorokin lobbing, Connolly. Short, gets a second look at it. Connolly muscles his way to the rack. Second chance, not quite able to get the touch on either. Googans running the break. Swatted there by Heckman on the pushing attempt from Corbin Raffler. He'll stay with Caledonia. 1:49 in the third. Game is really a little out of sync for both teams, it feels, the last couple minutes right here offensively.
That recovery there from Heckman, jumped early on the shot fake, but able to go right back up and get it as the Scots going back up.
Googans draws the contact, and he'll shoot some more free throws right here. They get that one on Gibby Connolly. So his first, and Scots remain in the bonus right here, although it hasn't mattered because they've taken 2-shot fouls since they've drawn anyway. I called a 2-shot foul, but that's what they all are now, so never mind. Give me a full season, and then I'll be back where I need to be. Googans able to get the rattle on the second one. Connolly, nice feed from Vanderhart, bouncing into the finish.
Great work in the pick and roll. Connolly set the screen, then able to go to the right side, gets it in a good spot and finishes it. Connolly, a guy that brings a lot of size too. With Regnerus out of the game, he can be another presence down low.
Googans leaping pass for Abel. Abel lob to Vanderwood. Final 1:10 of the third. Dogs by 10. Googans swatted by Connolly. Stays with Caledonia.
And the Bulldogs with this unit out there is all bench players right now, so an opportunity for the Bulldogs starting lineup to get rested, and these guys are hanging right now. They're staying pretty even with the Scots and allowing this Bulldogs team to be rested down the stretch.
Also for 7 team fouls Grandville picked up in the quarter, a chance for a little bit of foul trouble relief with some of those starters that picked up some personal fouls earlier. And here's another one that'll send Googans to the line. It's going to be the second on Connolly. Googans with an even 10 and off the mark with that one. Some issues with foul shooting for Caledonia this quarter. They've obviously had a lot of opportunities at the line, and so far have not been able to really make the Bulldogs pay. And right on cue, Jaden misses both of those. Dogs play a little bit of hot potato, and eventually Heckman will be the one that will decide to take it.
See if now if we're going to see a longer possession here to try to eat up some time, maybe get the last shot, or it looks like they're never going to go.
Heckman driving on Backus. No looking again. Postma turning. Can't get the finish. Put back. Heckman, no. Stays with Grandville. Touched out by Googans.
Postma, nice cut along the baseline, but the defense recovered just in time. He couldn't go all the way to the rack. Had to try to settle for a fadeaway. Heckman, another opportunity down low, but thanks to a couple offensive rebounds and then out of bounds eventually off the Scots. Now the Bulldogs are going to get at least one more chance.
Regnerus triggers and is blocked by Abel. Came out of nowhere and is able to swat it and run it the other way. Flying to the rack, and defense goes into offense for Luau Abel. How about that sequence for the Cal senior? Triple try, Neves down the hatch and good. He's got 19 for the Bulldogs. And that'll do it for the third quarter. A quick flurry of activity to end the third, and we will be right back.
The 76 Diner and Truck Stop would like to invite you and your families to come and check out their diner. With locations in both Byron Center and Coopersville, they're a great place to stop before or after the game. They have a wide variety of menu choices to feed all the kids. They serve breakfast hot all day, and they're able to accommodate all of your large group needs. Their full menu is available for takeout orders, and they have online ordering at 76truckstopdiner.com.
Welcome back to Grandville. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, final quarter here on game night of game number 1 of the evening. 11-point lead for the Bulldogs. Caden Neves with 19 of Grandville's 41. Abel flying to the rack and a foul on Cam Regnerus, who goes palms up and does not like the call. He was thinking that one was clean. And that's 4 on Cam Regnerus, and right away Gibson Connolly has to come back in. So a night with only 5 points for Regnerus, and he continues to fight foul trouble that much more, and we'll have to take one more quick seat.
Yeah, the Scots, with the rotation of slashers that they have, continue to attack right at Regnerus, and he's been forced to try to protect the rim, but it's been difficult. Got guys that are doing a good job of making separation, making moves mid-air, drawing those fouls down low.
Four points now for Abel. Has done all that work in just the last couple of seconds at the end of the last quarter, now the start of this one. Corbin Raffler picks up the defense on Xander Sorokin. And 4 bench players plus Neves out there right now for Grandville. Heckman has started all but 2 games, so helps with the depth a little bit to be able to have that look for Grandville, but a tough pull-up shot. Xander Sorokin able to knock it down from the elbow. Good, tough finish from the Grandville junior.
Now Sorokin able to create his own shot right there, get to his spot, right elbow. With some confidence there. Defender flies by and he hits the mid-range.
Corbin Raffler unable to hit over top of the leaping Vanderhart. Sorokin off and running. Spinning, poked on by Raffler. Dogs working 4 out right here offensively. Now down to the block goes Heckman, corner. Neves off the jab, off the drive, bounding, scoring. 21 points for Caden Neves.
Everything going Caden Neves' way right now is looked like he was going to be tied up on the way to the basket on that one, but somehow able to just fling it up and it bounces in.
Swatted, Gibson Connolly. 6.5 to go. Connolly doing some really good work in the stead of Cam Regnerus. Backus takes a seat, Ben Geerdes comes in his place.
Connolly, a couple points, a couple blocks along there. Continues to be that shot blocker down low that the Bulldogs defense really relies on.
13-point lead for Grandville. Will able to throw it in. Gets it to Googans. Raffler steps out of the triple, back to Googans. Vanderwood. Vanderhart on him defensively. Swat, and nearly stolen by an active Caden Neves right there. I mean, I don't need to say it, this has been his best game of the year, but it's been both ends of the floor as well. He's just obviously been terrific, and the offense is just part of it.
Yeah, it sure has. I think we've seen a couple times him be able to deflect some passes, chase it down, turn that into offensive looks.
Driving, Vanderwood reaching, scoring. Good tough finish for the Scott senior.
Been a much better second half for Vanderwood. Really strong third quarter, picks it up here again in the fourth.
Sorokin off the bound will go to the stripe. That almost fell off the top of the backboard and went in on a circus shot, but that will send Sorokin to the line. Vanderwood now with 12, by the way, in the ball game. He's the leading scorer going past Guggens for Caledonia. That foul is the first on Corbin Raffler, one on either team in the quarter, and 2 minutes gone in this quarter.
It looked like one official was going to let that one play out. It looked like if it was he was waiting to blow the whistle until that one maybe fell, and the other official came in waving the finger saying, no, that's not going to count. I think if you can make that shot, that probably should count.
Right.
But
I like that. Stolen away by Vanderhart. Good job on the reach. Pushes to Neves. Neves Euroing and getting the finish. Vanderhart to Neves off the push, 49-34 Bulldogs.
And that was just everything working again, and this time in transition. Euro move, defender hits the ground.
Guggens on Neves, stolen by Vanderhart again. Vanderhart lobs it across. Guggens touched it, and Grandville gets the possession with Heckman. Neves for Heckman. Driving on Geertsen, gets fouled by Guggens. 5:08 in the fourth.
I also think, recognizing that we've talked about it quite a bit, but you can't overstate the importance of Corbin Heckman in this game. Off the bench, he's played a lot of minutes, still been that steady hand. Defensively, had some really nice plays. Again, offensively, guy that for his size can handle the basketball pretty well, and his versatility has made it a tough matchup for the Scots.
That is foul number 3, by the way, on Guggens. Neves tries on Abel, blocked. Abel again defensively getting up there. Raffler with speed to the rack. Heckman with it. Wade, Regneris, who's in foul trouble, and Hybor all on the bench right now for Grandville. Good find, Heckman, Connolly. Can't get the finish on the right. Raffler snaking up the floor. Vanderwood over top of Vanderhart. No. Got a foul in the fight for the ball. Let's see if this goes on Neves or if this goes on Heckman. It's going to go on Caden Neves. Third foul of the quarter on the Bulldogs. It's foul 3 on Neves. So 4 on Regneris, 3 on Neves. Jackson DeYoung in for the Bulldogs as Heckman will take a seat. And Grandville goes, was essentially a 4-guard based on, if you count Neves as a guard or a forward. And one big man Connolly out there. Triple try for Vanderwood, falls short off the high board. Sorokin pushes to Caden Neves. 23 in the ball game for Neves. He'll go straight to the rack. He'll get the touching put back, but he can't get it to go. Abel athletically off the bounce, but loses the basketball. Touched out by the Bulldogs off that quick turn up the floor. Carter Wade in for Caden Neves, who will take a seat off the third foul. So both Neves and Regneris on the Bulldog bench. Backus. Freshman on freshman here. Can't get the reach over top of Wade. And Wade will be the last one to touch it on its way out. Enrique Morris in for the Scots.
We'll see what the Bulldogs, without Neves, who's been by far the best offensive player, going to miss him on that end. And then defensively, can miss Regneris. Connolly's done a nice job playing down there, but missing his ability on the defensive end down low as well.
Good finish from Raffler, and right away, Coach Chapman wants and will get a timeout. We will take one right alongside the Scots.
What would you do with some extra time? Shop Fastlane today.
Welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. Game night on Michigan Sports Radio, 49-36 Grandville. And out of their timeout, Caledonia and Coach Chapman will take the opportunity to set up a press here that Grandville will have to deal with for their first time since Tuesday night, where they saw a lot of that. And there's a foul drawn by Sorokin on Girdes. .3:45 in the fourth. DeYoung will come in for the Bulldogs. It's foul 3 on the Scots, 2 on Grandville right now in the final frame. DeYoung tripped and fouled, 4th of the quarter on the Scots. So now the Dogs went away from the bonus, and Cam Regneris going to come in here for Coach Desmond Young.
Playing those 4 fouls the rest of the way, but I think one of the benefits, you don't want Regneris and Devs in foul trouble down the stretch, but the one thing it does provide is you've got more ball handlers out there to handle this press. You've got Wade, DeYoung, Sorokin all out there who can handle the basketball.
Grandville will keep it here. It's foul 2, by the way, going back to the last one on Girdes, who picked up a couple in quick succession. Regneris off the lob. He's got the size advantage here on Backus. Working in the corner with it. Sorokin off the handoff. Back to Regneris, give and go. Cam through 2 defenders, gets the finish. Threw everything at the Bulldog big man, but Cam's got 7 now.
Had to rip it through the defender, slashing through there, but Regneris goes up strong. It's a friendly bounce off the backboard.
Enrique Morris, corner for Abel. Spins past Wade, whips the hands free. Regneris gets the block. Dogs off and running. Sorokin down the floor for Jackson DeYoung. Back to Vanderhart. Wade able to rip that away. Dogs have numbers here. Regneris doing the work. And 1.
Nothing's been easy for Cam here tonight. He's had to work for all the points he's gotten. There's been a lot of contact. He's been fighting it with a lot of bodies down there coming and a lot of attention being paid his way, but got a chance to get 10 points here yet through the foul trouble. It's still pretty impressive for Regneris.
And Cam is able to get in the double-digit scoring. He's got 10. Sorokin will check out here. Postma's in along with Wade in the Bulldog backcourt. We're also going to see Ethan Sheely for the first time tonight. Morris, handoff, Girdes goes to the line. Now we foul 3 on the Bulldogs. That's Sheely picking up that foul. Girdes can't get the rattle.
A lot of the second half for the Scots has been going as quickly as they can and just driving as fast as they can. And they've got a lot of foul calls out of it. The problem is free throw shooting hasn't exactly been there.
That one, 360s plus and will not fall. Abel shows the token pressure. Wade able to beat it. Abel, a terrific defender, just gets his hands on everything, cuts off every drive lane. He's like always a step ahead of you. Regneris, corner, all alone, Jackson DeYoung, splash.
First points for DeYoung right there, wide open in the corner. 3, maybe even 4 defenders all around Regneris, somehow able to find DeYoung for the wide open look.
Raffler off the bounce, gets the left-hand finish. Two-2-1 trap on. Lost some lights up here. Here's Regneris into the double team. And the Scots will take it.
Got a lot of people looking up here. It was not us that turned the lights off.
we are quick to be blamed for many things like that. Regnerus and DeYoung take a seat for the Bulldogs, so it looks like their night will come to an end. Coach Young getting ready to clear the bench. Driving, Abel, tough finish. Police report the lights are back on up top. Timeout from Coach Young. He'll take this quick timeout opportunity to make his substitutions, including Vinnie Bergman, the senior, come out. He had a big applause that he was able to gather from the student section. Alex Perry also in for the Bulldogs here. Landon Terry, Ethan Shealy. Stolen by Raffler off the inbounds. Raffler toes the line for the triple, got it.
Raffler 7 points now in the fourth quarter. Might be a little too late, but some impressive play from him down the stretch of the turnover and the stop and pop three.
Grandville's second team here working out against the pressure. Final 57 seconds. Postma trapped. And Coach Young is forced to burn a timeout that I don't think he's overly happy to have burned based on his expression on taking it. .57-43. Dogs in the timeout right here. So we have a look at Coach Young for a moment, who was getting the word in with his team. Coach Chapman will break it out. Definitely a much different Caledonia team than what we're used to in the past, but not, obviously it's not like they're quite run and gun, run and jump like East Kentwood is yet, but definitely a little bit different pace and style than what they've run in the last couple of years. And I've always said that when Coach Visser was at the helm, it was a very well-coached team. I like some of the traps and what they did with their talent. It's a turning of a page. They're going to fall in this one at 6-5 on the year here in year one for Coach Chapman, and I have complete confidence that we're going to watch a guy that has nearly a decade of D1 assistant coaching experience is going to get this thing rolling, as we've seen the same thing happen on the hardwood with the big hire in talent that they've brought in recent years. Driving Raffler, touching putback from Enrique Morris is good. 35 seconds to go. Shealy. Bergman tries the three. Oh, can't get that one to go off the back rim. Place would have exploded. No look feed. Morris short, or Abel short I should say, and a foul is called. And they'll send the Bulldogs to the stripe. Foul goes on back his fourth. Not 100% sure which Bulldog. I think it's going to be Perry. Yeah, it's going to be Perry going to the line for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Coach Chapman not loving that foul call all the way down the other end of the floor. I think there was probably rightfully a lot of contact given to the Scots on the shot attempt that wasn't called, and then they're going to call that one, and Bulldogs aren't going to complain, but Coach Chapman going to fight that one until the end.
Final 15 seconds. Drive from Raffler. 9 points in this final frame from Raffler, who's looked really good for the Scots. Final 5 seconds. Postma trapped with three. The Scots are trapped in the last minute. Well, Abel, they'll count it. It'll be a 10-point game. In the end, we got a final, and Grandville able to control this one, and the Bulldogs able to get back into the win column. 59-49 for the Bulldogs in Grandville now. It goes to 10-3 on their campaign. Chandler, your first thoughts wrapping this one up?
Yeah, big bounce back for the Bulldogs. A couple tough ones against some of the top teams in the OK Red prior to this one, but able to get things figured out pretty quickly and early on for the Bulldogs. Able to create some separation here in the second half, and And important for the Bulldogs to get back in the win column here on their home floor against a Caledonia team that's improving.
We have an exchange of words from some of the coaching staffs at the end of that contest. In particular, the head coaches there had a quick discussion at half floor, but Grandville able to hang on. They get the win in this one. 10-point victory for the Bulldogs in Grandville. Able to get back above 500 in the OK Red. We're going to step aside, and we'll be right back as we'll get a chance to take through the scoring, take through some highlights, and get you some awards from this game before we'll turn things around for the girls' contest.
The 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas, the point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Hey everyone, Nate from Michigan Game Night. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the MGN shop. You can find it through MichiganGameNight.com or the Michigan Game Night page on Michigan Sports Radio. Click on the Buy MGN Merch button or tab on either page and find your way on over. You can check out a store that has hats, beanies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, water bottles, and everything in between, from just simple MGN logo designs to playoff featured designs, designs with famous calls and moments from MGN, and much, much more. Make sure you check out the MGN shop through MichiganGameNight.com or MichiganSportsRadio.com/MGN.
Can you identify your number 1 personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Welcome back to Grandville. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. 59-49. Grandville picks up the win in this one. This is our Centennial Securities post-game show. CT, if you can take us through our scoring summary. Big one for the Bulldogs, in particular, Caden Nebbs.
All right, for Caledonia, Vanderwood led the way, 12 points. Guggens with 10, Abel with 10. Raffler had 9. Morris with 6, and Gertis with 2 for the Bulldogs. And leading all scorers, Neves with 23. Regnieris had 10. Heckman had 6 points, and then a whole bunch of scorers. Sorokin with 4, DeYoung 3, Postma 3, Wade 4, Perry 2, Connolly with 2, and Vanderhart with 2.
All right, want to get a quick message we missed during the game, but also attention all golfers. Want to keep your game in shape? The Leaderboard Indoor Golf has you covered with over 500 courses, a full bar, and 17 TVs. The Leaderboard Indoor Golf is the perfect place to work on your game, host events and parties, and compete in leagues. Visit theleaderboardgolf.com or call 616-500-8709 to book your tee time today. All right, let's go into some awards. Let's start with our Farmers Insurance Play of the Game, but before we get to that, let's take a look at some of our second half highlights. We start with a really good highlight and kind of a back-and-forth play. Luau Abel went defense into offense and was able to turn a steal and a block into some points for Caledonia at the end of the third quarter.
But thanks to a couple offensive rebounds and out of bounds eventually off the Scots, now the Bulldogs are going to get at least one more chance.
Regnieris triggers and it's blocked by Abel. Came out of nowhere and is able to swat it and run it the other way. Flying to the... Good work there from Abel. And Xander Sorokin for Grandville had a really tough finish as well for the Bulldogs at the start of the fourth quarter. Heckman has started all but 2 games, so helps with the depth a little bit to be able to have that look for Grandville, but Tough pull-up shot. Xander Sorokin able to knock it down from the elbow. Good. Saw some defense into offense from Caledonia. How about a little bit of defense from into offense for Grandville? Vanderhart gotten the steal and the block away and finding Neves for yet another scoring play for Caden Neves. Stolen away by Vanderhart. Good job on the reach. Pushes to Neves. Neves Euroing and getting the finish. Vanderhart. And we'll wrap up the look. Cam Regneris had a couple of good moves, including this and one on his way to 10 points in the ballgame. Wade able to rip that away. Dogs have numbers here. Regneris doing the work. And one. And now we do go to our Farmers Insurance play of the game. We go back to the first half. I think everyone knows exactly what play it's going to be as Heckman found Neves for the triple.
Going right at Regneris, trying to play physical, right into the chest, give him a little bit of a shoulder. Regneris has been holding up for the most part. Right there, Guggen's able to get some separation.
Nice find, no look, Heckman, and Neves the finish right down the hatch. All right, next couple awards right here. We go on to our Centennial Securities winning game plan from this one. A couple different options, I think, to go to on this one, CT. But I think for Grandville, it was kind of a game of keeping your head through some of the fouls, and really Coach Young doing a good job of mixing his lineup and getting that second unit in there in that third quarter, and they were able to really kind of keep their head above water when Grandville was otherwise dealing with some foul trouble.
Yeah, I think they did a really nice job of finding that rotation. Regneris, Neves towards the end of the game into some foul trouble, but I think a really strong play from Heckman coming off the bench, which continues to pay dividends for the Bulldogs, and then kind of the rest rotation on from out there, able to have the entire five be off the bench at one point and kind of keep pace with what the Scots were doing. That was huge, and allowing the Bulldogs to finish this one off.
Rainbow Grill in Grandville presents our player of the game. Caden Neves had 23 points, his best game yet as a Bulldog. If Grandville gets this from him more and more down the stretches we've been seeing him build to, look out.
Yeah, I think in a night where 4 of the 5 starters for the Bulldogs were really fighting it offensively, Regneris ended up with 10 points, most of that coming in the second half, but the 4 of the 5 starters kind of fighting it offensively the entire night, and Neves picked up the slack from the start. He was aggressive, looked like he had a mindset he was going to score a bunch, hit multiple threes, was able to drive a bunch of times, get to the rack. Really strong night from him.
Want to thank everyone at the Grandville AV class as well. Great job as they provided the video for us and the pictures that you saw for that first game. We'll be back to the huddle cam for the second contest as they're going off the air for that one. But we again thank Will and everyone over there for their help setting that up. Some really good coverage from them for certain tonight. All right, that'll do it for the boys contest. 59-49, Grandville to 10-3 on the year. Caledonia falls to 6-5. We're going to step aside, and we'll be right back. We'll turn things around, and we'll get you the girls contest. Only halfway done to the evening here.
Weights have been lifted. Sprints have been run. Preparation for today's game is history. It's time to get it done. You're listening on MichiganSportsRadio.com.
Coaching records continue to fall, this time on the ice, and some good news when it comes to the number of registered officials. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. No one has coached more Michigan high school hockey teams to victory than Doug Toller. The head coach of the Genesee Generals won his 630th game during the winter break, topping the previous high of 629 set by Trenton's Mike Turner. Toller started his career in 1979 at Flint Northern. He then coached at Grand Blanc for 10 years before moving to Davison in 1992. Davison is the primary school of a 4-school co-op named the Genesee Generals. Flushing, Goodrich, and Swartz Creek are the other schools.
I'm probably the most fortunate hockey coach in the world to have had so many great young men. It's really all about them. They've just put me in a position, I guess, to be here and reap the benefit. But I have to give them a lot of credit for everything that they've done. I love being on the ice and working with the kids and trying to get them to kind of understand the game a little bit better and become better players. And it's also about being better people too, you know, having respect and all the life lessons that go with it.
That was Toller speaking with Miriam Bingham of ABC 12 Sports after the record-breaking victory. Genesee will have another 10 games in the regular season to add to Toller's win total before starting regional play in late February. To see all of the MHSAA's ice hockey records, individual, team, coaching, and playoff, be sure to check out MHSAA.com and click on Ice Hockey. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the past week. First, Arthur Hill Jr. wrestler Michael Baldwin. He captured the Saginaw County Wrestling Invitational title at 165 pounds, the last county wrestling title for Arthur Hill before they merge with Saginaw High next school year. Hancock senior hockey player Sam Roberts, he tallied the winner in a 3-2 victory over the Capital City Capitals. It was Roberts' second goal of the year. And a Monroe St. Mary Catholic Central wrestler, Mary Alice Lynch. She recorded her 100th win on the mat with a victory in the SMCC Girls Wrestling Tournament.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, you know, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Director of Officiating Services, Sam Davis.
If a basketball team has a good post player, you'll usually hear the opposing crowd call for 3 seconds. But what is 3 seconds and when should it be called? A 3-second violation occurs when a player is in the lane for more than 3 seconds. But it's not always that easy. First, a player can the 3-second clock. To establish position outside the lane, the player must have both feet on the playing surface outside of the lane. It won't reset the count if one foot is outside the lane and the other foot is in the air. Also, during a throw-in or while dribbling, attempting a shot, or rebounding, there is no 3-second count. The count does not start again until the offense has control of the ball in the front court.
Thanks, Sam. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. Sticking with officiating, for the 3rd year in a row, the number of registered officials in Michigan is up, slightly. And while any increase is good news, it still comes after 9 straight years of decline. So while the recent trend is encouraging, there's still a ways to go as a lack of officials puts extra strain on current officials. To help recruit and retain officials, the MHSAA has provided membership in the National Association of Sports Officials. Membership gives officials expanded insurance coverages, access to professional services and development, and a subscription to an MHSAA-focused referee magazine. But there's still a need for more. If you're interested, go to MHSAA.com and click on Officials for more information. Because without officials, it's just practice. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll be back next week.
With their intensity, what a move by Wade to the corner, to Young, another one! DeBoer regathers, takes it to the front of the net, and skies one behind Louiselle, and scores! 2-1 Grandville. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Breslin Center and game night on Michigan Sports Radio. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here. Bob's Regneris drives, jams, thunderously with 2 hands again. Cam Ragnaris, he's got 10. Bobo skips the right corner to Watson. Catch and shoot 3. Splash! Muskegon has taken the lead, 47-46. Justin Watson, another triple. He has 9. 138 in the third, and a big red lead. By Baker, they'll fling it to Steffen. Aldering to the basket. Merritt Aldering cocks it back, jams it. Timeout, Covenant Christian. All right, welcome back to Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. Girls game on deck here on MGN on Michigan Sports Radio. 59-49 win for the Grandville boys to open up the night. They go to 10-3 on the year. Now the Grandville girls looking to bounce back. The Dogs right now on a 7-game losing skid, led in part by having to play their tough games within the OK Red. Caledonia and Coach Blomer's coming in 4-5 on the season. They did win last time out. They had Gymnasium in that contest to pick up their first win of the conference season. We'll welcome you up top here at Vanderslice Gymnasium. Nate, CT, and Chandler. I think the main talking point for both of these teams is this is now kind of 2 games in a row, this being true for Caledonia, but for Grandville after having to play West Ottawa and then Rockford, the best team in the state, and then East Kentwood, maybe a top 3 team in the state, all in succession. A little bit of a break for both these teams from the incredibly difficult OK Red that might give them just a little bit of a chance to try to get things back on the right foot after you've had to play the likes of East Kentwood and Rockford and so forth.
Yeah, I think a good opportunity for both these teams to kind of figure some things out and hopefully turn around what's been a tough schedule. Of course, so many teams that are talented in the OK Red that you're going to take your shot against them, but they're just so good that it's going to make it difficult for these teams. But I think both of these squads kind of look at this one as one they can potentially get, kind of switch around some momentum potentially and try to see what they can do the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We'll have a quick look here, by the way, also at the standings coming into tonight. Again, East Kentwood, Rockford playing for the top spot in both the girls and the boys in the OK Red. But you see these 2 teams around the bottom, 1 and 2. Caledonia, Grandville still looking for their first win in the OK Red. And again, this is a conference and this is a league that is as tough as any for girls basketball in the state. So if you get a chance to break some things out, if you get a chance to work on your defense, both these teams do some trapping and so forth, certainly a huge, huge help to be able to do that here tonight. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have our final thoughts, and then we'll get you down.
What would you do with some extra time? Shop Fastlane today.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. Have you recently collided with a deer or been caught in an unfortunate accident? Don't worry, Car Center Collision and Glass is your trusted partner to bring your vehicle back to life. With convenient branches in Cedar Springs, Burton Heights, Alpine, and Big Rapids, we're right around the corner to provide expert assistance. From collision repairs to mechanical fixes, we're your one-stop solution for all your car needs. Check us out at carcentermi.com.
All right, welcome back to Grandville. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. Girls game just about set to tip here from Vanderslice Gymnasium. We'll get ready to send it on down to the PA momentarily. We'll get our anthem. We'll get our starters. Grandville 1-7 on the year, 4-5. Caledonia, both teams looking to get a footing, a little bit better footing in the OK Red. Grandville looking for their first win in red play. Caledonia looking to go for back-to-back red wins after they took down Jennison by 11 last time out. Let's send it down to the PA, and let's get you your anthem and get this one ready to tip off here from Vanderslice Gym.
And now let's get this started for tonight's game between the Fighting Scots of Caledonia and the Bulldogs of Grandville. First, the visiting team from Caledonia. Number 1, Catherine Langenberg. Number 15, Lily Gordon-Baker. Number 21, Mackenzie DeVries. Number 24, Teresa Abraham. And number 34, Lately Belton. The Fighting Scots are coached by Mr. Todd Luler. And now, for your home team, the Grandville Bulldogs. Number 1, Allison Gillett. Number 2, Grace Richardson. Number 3, Gracie Radowski. Number 24, Tessa Doyle. And number 44, June DeVries.
All right, we're ready to go. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on game night. Bulldog boys picked up the win to start the evening's festivities. We'll see if the Dogs can get a sweep and if Grandville can snap a 7-game losing streak that the Dogs have been on. First-year head coach Mike Van Hecking. He and Coach Todd Blomers look on. DeVries steps in against Batum, and we are ready to go. And away we go. Catherine Langenberg will start it up here for the Scots, who again are coming off a win by 11 over Jennison, who Grandville fell to in overtime a couple of weeks ago. Lone win in the conference for Caledonia. The Dogs 0-4, looking for their first win in what again might be the toughest conference in the state of Michigan. In girls basketball, Langenberg again driving around Rakowski. Gregor meets there as well. Gillette had a chance not to steal. It'll stay with a driving Gortmaker. Gortmaker had 25 points in that win over Jennison last time out. Tough triple is forced up and off the mark for Langenberg, and the Bulldogs will take over after a long 40-second possession to open it up from the Scots.
A really long possession on the defensive end for the Bulldogs, but able to hold up, eventually force a tough three, and right away some pressure from the Scots.
Scots show the 2-2-1 three-quarter court trap, knocked out by Tessa Abraham, the 5'11 senior power forward. And Tillette will get ready to throw it in from the front court. Gracie Rakowski, 17 points against Rockford, 14 last time out against East Kentwood. Team been struggling to score, but she's been finding a little bit more of her groove, especially doing all the good work that she does, scoring off the bounce. Jump passing lane from Langenberg, and a foul fighting back from Richardson.
Langenberg just a step too late. She was trying to pick that one off and take it to the other end, but then as she came back, Richardson looking to make a pass, ran through the arms there, committed the foul.
Here's Rakowski. Gregoire. Driving on Abraham, corner, but a space for DeVries, who will feed it out Richardson. Tillette, who's drawn into the starting lineup the last couple games for the Bulldogs, able to find DeVries. Gregoire up top, drives on Abraham. Bulldogs now taking their time at this possession. Tillette knocks down the triple, and Grandville takes the first advantage of the ball game.
Tillette been a really good three-point shooter for this basketball team. First couple games of the season, and there looked like she was initially wanting to pass, but it had some space.
Courtmaker draws the contact, and the junior guard will go to the stripe. Like I said, last time out, Jennison, 25 points, 6 steals, 3 assists for Lily Gortmaker. So she was a very critical reason, to say the least, to scored over half of her team's offense in that win over Jennison. So stopping 15 going to be absolutely critical for head coach Mike Van Hecken's team tonight. Be curious to see the pressures. We've already seen Caledonia. They like to operate out of that 2-2-1 trap. Grandville has operated some presses and traps in the full and three-quarter court as well. We'll see if they utilize that tonight this evening. Gortmaker unable to hit either of them, and it stays 3-0 Grandville nearly to the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. Tillette tries another one. Board snagged down by Abraham.
Couple wide open looks from Tillette in the corner. The scouts have been a little bit slow to recognize her out there and have not been able to close out. A little strong, but Bulldogs can continue to take that open look if it's there.
Abraham up top, swings wing. Or DeVries will try to feed Gortmaker with her back to the basket. Whip pass to Abraham. Euros and travels on that maneuver. Grandville takes the basketball back. 5:46 in the first. And 3-0 Bulldog lead, staying on against the 2-2-1 trap right here, which just talked about a lot of efficiency in terms of getting steals and forcing the offense into mistakes last time in the win against Jennison for the Scots. Gracie Rakowski, the Bulldog Walsh University signee, in rhythm, able to knock that one down nicely.
The Bulldogs have been composed early on, able to beat the press pretty effectively up the floor, and then Rakowski in the half court able to create her own shot.
Grandville will take it here on the forced pass out of bounds. Again, the pressure gets set up right here. Rakowski finds DeVries out of the trap. Rakowski driving on Langenberg, who got the hand in there. Gracie will keep it up top. Tillette off the curl, shot blocked. Running is DeVries, the senior point guard. Langenberg out of the wing. Arms spread wide, Richardson watching her defensively. Nearly to the halfway point. Timeout from Coach Bloomers. A grind in the early going of this one. We're going to step aside, be right back here.
It's a beautiful time of year, but for many, it is also the beginning of allergy season, which means lots of sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, runny nose, constant drainage, or ear pressure. These are all allergy symptoms we regularly treat. Don't let your allergy stop you from enjoying what you love to do outdoors. We have several ear, nose, throat, and allergy specialists ready to see you. Find us online at MichiganENTallergy.com. We look forward to helping you enjoy the outdoors again.
Welcome back to Grandville. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. 4.5 to go, first quarter, 5-0 Grandville. Methodical offense has been the key to the day so far for both of these teams, CT, and so far it's been an advantage for the Bulldogs in that.
Yeah, Bulldogs been able to avoid turning the ball over against the press, get the ball into the half court where they've been able to get some open shots. Get a 3 from Dillette and Rakowski with a 2.
Up top, you saw a score come in from other contests. Rockford did beat East Kenwood tonight. So as that one's off the mark from DeVries, the Rams go all alone atop the OK Red. As Grandville fans, I'm sure, love to hear me say. Dillette will feed it on to a sprinting Rakowski. Nice press break with some pace. Rakowski, good move into the mid-range. Can't get the rattle. Abraham forced to stop, and again it'll be DeVries, the senior, that'll run the offense here for Langenberg. Past the halfway point in the first. Long pass, corner. DeVries tries the 3. Scott still looking to get on the board. Dillette chases down the board. And an offensive foul going to get called here on Dillette. There was some extended hand fighting between both her and Langenberg. It didn't get called for the first couple swipes, and then eventually the Bulldogs and Dillette wind up getting the call right there. Eddie Rowe checks in for Caledonia. We'll see Kincannon come in for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Langenberg providing the on-ball defense right there, was providing a lot of pressure in the face of Dillette, and kind of a push off the first time. The official right there going to let it play out, but the second time right on top of it, not going to let that one happen twice.
DeVries directing traffic over for Gortmaker. Batum to the corner. Gortmaker, triple try. And Gregory will rip down the board nicely. Defense gets back in the half court. Drive, Rakowski, floater, scoring. Found the soft spot, and Gracie Rakowski scores again. She's got 4.
Rakowski's been able to capitalize off of, once the Scots are trying to go from that press back into their half-court defense, she's been able to kind of catch them in that transition.
Hard foul on Kincannon. Off the drive from Gortmaker. That is the 3rd foul on the Bulldogs. Foul actually going to be on Rakowski on the initial contact. 3 fouls on the Bulldogs, none yet so far on the Scots. DeVries tries it. Caledonia still looking for the first points of the game. Another good run to the rebound right there by Gregworth.
Bulldogs defense pitching the shutout through over 5 minutes of play now, and the Scots have had some open threes, but all have been pretty deep from well beyond the arc. Bulldogs not really allowing anything close to the basket right now.
Emma Perez right now is kind of running down at the block out there for the first time in the game. Rakowski in the lane, floater tipped away. And Caledonia takes it off the out-of-bounds push. 7-0 Grandville, 2.5 to go in the first. Terrific start defensively. The Bulldogs are going to break out a little bit of trapping pressure right here in the full court. Scots beat it to Langenberg. Driving past Perez, and a foul will get called on the floors. 4th of the quarter on the Bulldogs, so free throws starting next time up here for the Scots.
First times there's been a driving lane, Langenberg able to see it, get between defenders. Got fouled before she could try to get the shot attempt up, but I think the Scots going to have to continue to try to attack with the dribble.
That foul did get whistled on Kincannon for her first. Gortmaker in space in Caledonia off a nice find and a nice pushing finish, able to get on the board for the first time. Perez beats the pressure. Lobs it, Gregworth. Perez stops at the line. Gregworth saves the board, but saves it into DeVries. And a foul will get whistled on the Bulldogs and Perez, and that will send the Scots to the stripe into the double bonus, or into the bonus. It will. I wonder at first if it was maybe still getting ruled an offensive foul at that point, but it will send the Scots and DeVries to the line right here.
The officiating crew maybe showing they're still adjusting to this rule as we are. We talked about that a little bit in the boys game, but 5th foul coming. No fouls on the Scots so far. Bulldogs committing their fists, and now some free throws for the last minute 53 of the first quarter.
First one rolls out for DeVries. Dean Grang will check in for Tessa Gregor for the final 2 minutes. DeVries unable to hit either. Rebound, put back Rowe off the mark, and Perez able to rip down the board, but travels as she's unable to keep her footing.
She's hanging on as long as she could, was losing the pivot foot and trying to find somewhere to try to outlet that one, but kind of just lost balance and unable to get the ball away.
Here's Rowe. Bailey DeVries, the sophomore, hands off. Deep attempt for Blomers is off the mark. Forward down to Grang, and a foul is called. First of the quarter on the Scots. Foul is now 5-1 this frame. 7-2 Grandville, though. That is the first call on DeVries of the ball game. Bailey DeVries. 2-3 zone set up right here for the Scots in the half court. Perez. Richardson finds Rakowski, back to Perez. Final 1:15 of the frame. Defense gets extended a little bit right here. Rakowski doubled, able to find Perez up top. Perez back to Gracie Rakowski, 1:02. Timeout from Coach Van Hecken as he wants to talk about this extended possession. 1:02 to go in the frame. We're going to step aside. Be right back here.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, MGN on Michigan Sports Radio. 1:02 in the first, 7-2. Grandville in the girls contest, boys. For Grandville, taking down Caledonia to open up the night. Grandville getting back in the win column after dropping a couple in a row. Dogs get 10 wins on the year on the boys' side. Grandville girls looking to break a 7-game losing streak they've been on, though. Matchup here against this zone, extending for Caledonia. Two-three zone, and out of it, DeVries able to knock it away. Coach Blomers has kind of been turning some of the gears defensively with different looks out of this base zone look that he's been bringing.
Yeah, for a quarter where they've only scored 2 points, now trying to figure something out defensively to maybe get some offense out of it.
Grang putback is off the mark. Tries to rip down a third. Bodies everywhere. Held ball. And Grandville keeps it on the alternating possession with 39 seconds to go. Maybe a chance to hold it for the final shot. In a game that currently is setting up to be first to 30. And it's been a slow pace for sure to this one. And defense has been the measure of the day to begin. Concannon will take a seat for the Bulldogs. Gregor comes back in, so a bit more shooting touch out there for the Bulldogs. Corner inbound to Rakowski is knocked out. 38.8 now on the clock. Grandville will get an inbound again, this time from the other side of the floor. Richardson to throw in for the Dogs. Gets Rakowski. Rakowski will draw the block, the second of the quarter on Caledonia from DeVries, who picks up her first foul.
Entry pass tightly contested there with Rakowski, but she's able to swing through. She's going to try to make a move and make a dribble off to the right hand, and defender getting in the way of that in the foul call.
And a tie-up this time goes Caledonia's way, as they'll now maybe get the ball for the final possession of the quarter. Two teams that both average just shy of 40 points per game on the year, so a game being played below the pace and style of both of these teams a bit as well. A bit of a different trapping look being shown by the Bulldogs. Rakowski got a piece of it. Gortmaker settles it, drives to the basket, initiated the contact, and will get the foul call and get two at the line off the call on Emma Perez.
Rakowski very close to having that one stolen in a last possession for the Bulldogs, but Gortmaker able to settle things back down. As the Bulldogs defense trying to recover, she's able to go right into the teeth of it and get herself to the free throw line.
One hangs on the rim and will fall for Gortmaker, who's done all the scoring for Caledonia here tonight. Gortmaker able to convert 1 of 2. That rebound, though, goes off for the Bulldogs, and Caledonia will keep it underneath the baseline. 22 seconds in the first, 7-3 ball game. DeVries able to find Gortmaker across the floor. Rakowski picks it up with 13. Rakowski with 4 in the first quarter. She'll set up the final shot, pounding into the triple. Off the mark for Gracie. Gortmaker the board with 2. And that'll do it. For the first, 7-3 Grandville after 1 over
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
Hearing experts sell and service several brands of hearing aids. Are you having trouble having a conversation or unable to hear the latest play of the game? We perform comprehensive hearing exams and use real ear measurements to ensure optimal functioning hearing aids for your unique needs. Our highly trained doctors of audiology are dedicated to helping you reconnect with your world. Visit MichiganHearingExperts.com to find a location near you and take the first step towards better hearing with Michigan Hearing Expert.
Welcome back to Grandville. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer offense. Tough to find in the first quarter, 10 total points. I mean, two teams, like I said, that average around 40 a game already, kind of slower paced and offensive teams. Right now we're on a pace for 40 as the total in this one. Slow and defensive and mixing defensive first quarter for sure.
Yeah, neither team lighting it up offensively, but even though both teams struggling, they both are in it. They feel pretty comfortable with the way the defenses have played.
Gracie Rakowski, RCT, able to draw the foul call off her drive on the floor. First of the quarter on the Scots will get whistled on Brecken Bloomers, the junior. Richardson to throw in for the Bulldogs. Gregor, Grang out there along with Perez and Rakowski in the backcourt. Gregor, quick dribble, splash. Good finish. Tessa Gregor able to knock down the 3, and the Bulldogs go up 7.
Drawn up play out of the inbounds there. Gregor able to cut out into the wing and then immediately catch and shoot.
Bulldog pressure forces a mistake, thrown away by DeVries. Dogs take it right back over. Good start out of the quarter break, kind of like they did off the start of the first quarter.
Maybe a chance to go on a little bit of a run here. First one potentially of the game off the made 3 from Gregor. Get the steal on defense. And now another opportunity to try to extend the lead.
Caledonia extending some pressure out to the half-court line. Rakowski for Richardson in the corner. Rakowski again gets matched up here defensively with DeVries. Senior on senior. Nice find. Garang gets the finish. Rakowski, the nice shuffle, and the good finish from Dean Garang.
Rakowski able to break the defense down and then dump it off. As the defense has got their attention on Rakowski down to Garang.
Dogs force another turnover. This is Perez off and running for Gregor. Will walk the tightrope. Long 2, Richardson. Poured down to DeVries. Grandville pressure defensively. I mean, made baskets, turning into a chance to set up the defense. DeVries running the floor. Offensive foul drawn by Rakowski. Good work there defensively by the Bulldogs senior. Second foul of the quarter on the Scots.
Rakowski able to anticipate that one the whole way down the floor. Got set up around that left block area, knowing DeVries was likely going to take it all the way. Gets set, draws the charge.
Rakowski out of the trap for Perez. Gregor over half. Travels trying to settle the basketball down.
The presence of Gortmaker there, cutting in at the last second. Gregor wanted to turn that one up the floor and look to make a dribble and maybe pass it further up, but Gortmaker kind of cutting in there, took her away the direction she wanted to go and forcing the travel.
Langenberg stopping, able to feed it through the legs of the defenders up top on the Bloomers. Batum off the drive, stops at the line, feeding, driving. Gortmaker, swatted, Grain getting a piece of it. Foul on the fight for the ball. And the Dogs will take it. Whistle goes on Langenberg. Third foul of the quarter on the Scots. Kind of all the initial fouls went against Grandville in the first, and all the initial fouls going against Caledonia in the second in this one.
Strong couple possessions from Grand getting the lay-in on the offensive end there, block protecting the rim on defense.
Gortmaker pokes it from behind in her own bench. Brea Haight will check in for the Bulldogs. Perez takes a seat. We've seen the DeVries come in for Grandville as well. Mid-range, Richardson off the mark. DeVries able to snag it and get the putback. 11-point lead for the Bulldogs.
DeVries in the perfect spot on the weak side. That bounce came right down to her. None of the Scots there to try to provide the box out. An easy backup for DeVries.
Drive to the basket off the mark for Langenberg. Murkowski pushes wing to Haight. And foul gets whistled down. Fourth of the quarter on the Scots. Bulldogs one away from shooting free throws.
Bulldogs have been able to turn up the tempo a little bit and get up the floor pretty quickly. The Scots defense has been committing fouls along with that. Another one, Bulldogs are going to be shooting some free throws for the last minutes of the second quarter.
Nice find. Mia DeVries off the inbound. And again, Grandville able to get an inbound finish. Coach Blomers wants a timeout right away, and he'll get it. Grandville going on a quick run, and the Dogs go up 16-3 in this one as we're closing down towards the end of the first half. Don't go anywhere. Actually, we're going to keep it right here. And attention, all golfers want to keep your game in shape. The Leaderboard Indoor Golf has you covered. With over 500 courses, a full bar, and 17 TVs, the Leaderboard Indoor Golf is the perfect place to work on your game, host events and parties, and compete in leagues. Visit theleaderboardgolf.com or call 616-500-8709 to book your tee time today. Well, I think it goes without saying, Chandler, that this has been the best performance, both ends of the floor, but especially defensively. I mean, the Grandville team in sync right now. They're getting offensive looks off of the good offensive looks and scores. They're setting up the trapping defense. They're getting easy scores off that. It's kind of a little bit of what this Coach Van Hecken system wants to look like, being illustrated well, very well, with a 13-point lead here in the second quarter.
Yeah, it kind of looks like they're figuring some things out after the offense a little bit slow to settle in the first quarter. Defense has been there holding the Scots just to 3 points at this point in the game, and now the offense is starting to look a little bit more comfortable, figuring some things out, being aggressive. They've had some open looks, been hitting them now, been able to build up a pretty nice lead.
Scots have already had to burn a couple of timeouts in the first half here as well. Dogs with the trapping pressure. Here's Gortmaker. She has all three for the Scots in this one. Langenberg. Stolen by Rakowski. Good reach, and the senior gets the easy two. Gracie Rakowski, defense into offense.
6 points for Rakowski now in the first half, and that one able to create all on her own. Top of the key, pokes it free. The only one down the floor, takes it all the way.
6 points for Rakowski. Foul on the floor will be the first of the quarter on the Bulldogs. Gets drawn on Brea Haight. And full court pressure, very effective right now for Grandville. Turn a little bit of the trick that Caledonia used so well against Jennison in their win last time out out of their pressure and their ability to force steals. And right there, Rakowski jumps the passing lane, gets the basketball ripped away from Brecken Bloomers, and gets the easy two off of it. 5 minutes still to go. Quick start to the third quarter here, or second quarter, first 3 minutes for the Bulldogs. Gortmaker rips it to the basket, and it tips off of DeVries. No, it doesn't. It tips off of the Scots, and the Bulldogs take it. It may have been off of DeVries, just not the Grandville DeVries.
Gortmaker, another tough contested shot. She's got all three of the Scots points, but Bulldogs doing a pretty good job making sure she doesn't have an easy look at the basket.
Gortmaker able to excellently take that one away. DeVries swings on for Abraham. DeVries again. .15-point lead for Grandville. Langenberg, the lefty, trying to cut into it off the mark. Board down to Rakowski. She's going to try to beat the defense with some speed. Lobs it on for Dillette in the corner. Triple try. Greg Worm. That one falls short. Rakowski runs to it. With space, Brea Haight knocks it down. All Grandville in this one as Haight gets on the score sheet. 21-3 advantage for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, well done, Bulldogs. Nice offensive possession there. Under control the whole way, eventually drawing the defender away from the corner, leaves Haight wide open.
Courtmaker off the drive, leaning no. Or to Rakowski. For as much as coaches love, and the offense been efficient too, for as much as coaches love games where the offense is working, I don't think there's anything that a coach loves much more than to see a score like this in terms of the defensive effort for Coach Van Hecken's squad. Gillette gets stolen away on the force feed inside. Here's Gordmaker. Langenberg. Cut off by Haight. Gortmaker along the baseline draws the contact, and Lily Gortmaker will go to the stripe and get a chance for the first points of the quarter for Caledonia.
Gortmaker making moves with basketball, putting it on the deck has been the best thing that that Scott's offense has been able to do. She's had a lot of traffic in the way when she's been trying to do that. I think her ability off the dribble, trying to be aggressive, is going to be the Scott's best way to try to open this up a little bit and just try to get something going.
I think program-wide free throw shooting, something that's going to be done in the Caledonia gym tomorrow between their boys and their girls teams. Gortmaker unable to hit that one either. Rakowski already 3 or 4 rebounds in the first half of this one. She'll set things up. Caledonia out of that 2-3 zone, extending pressure here. Gregor on the wing. Lobs it for Dillette. Shot pass tipped away. DeVries able to reach and get the steal back away for the Dogs inside the final 3 minutes of the first quarter. 21-3 Grandville.
Has really been able to control the pace of this game. They've been able to force turnovers on the defensive end, and then they can really take their time on the offense against the zone defense and set up the looks that they like.
Rakowski lobbing Mia DeVries, unable to get the finish there. Gets a second look, and DeVries has got 6 in the ball game. Good work down there. First initial good find, and then DeVries able to stick with it.
Getting all her points right there on that left block. A couple off the inbound, and there, just a nice pass down low. Able to knock that one in off the glass.
Delight, I think, just getting a hand on that one to tip it away. She'll take a seat as Richardson comes in. Courtmaker to put it in. Courtmaker reaching pass, another steal for the Bulldogs. Final 2 minutes of the first half, 23-3 Grandville. Rakowski in the lane, tough one through traffic, is off the mark, and it'll get settled down here by Mackenzie DeVries, who will run it. DeVries, Langenberg, quick 3, lefty off the mark, poured down to Rakowski, she's off and running again. Rakowski to the basket, gets the finish.
Off the chase down rebound, another wide open floor for Rakowski. As soon as she's got it, there's no one between her and the basket, and able to once again go coast to coast.
8 points for Rakowski, another quick timeout called by the Caledonia bench. We'll welcome you up top here at Vanderslice Gymnasium. Man, this is some great defensive basketball to watch. And it's the X's and O's working, the full court trapping been there, constant pressure, hands in the lane, rush shots from Caledonia. I mean, it's, we both know the Van Hecken family. We went to Hamilton. We know what Dan Van Hecken was able to do with his teams, the way they play defense. Mike Van Hecken certainly brings a lot of the same philosophies, and this is that sort of defensive performance, I think, of what this team's going to be building towards in the future.
Yeah, I think so. I think, by far the best this team has looked, at least in the time that we've been covering them, and I think that the way that they are executing on the defensive end right now, kind of mixing and matching things, forcing Caledonia, it's been the tough schedule for this Bulldogs team early on. They've kind of been the ones that have been getting pressured quite a bit. It's been tough for them on the defensive end, just trying to get their legs underneath them and trying to settle things in. And now they're kind of flipping the script on the Scots team early on.
Dogs out of the full court trap again, beaten to Mackenzie DeVries. Courtmaker inside the final 90 seconds. Mackenzie Myers with the basketball for the first time. Back to Courtmaker. Off the mark for that one. Grandville still pitching a shutout down to the final 1:15 of the quarter. This is where I were head coach, where I'm not very fair because I'd hold the ball to shut him out for the quarter.
We'll see. It looks like it might be the game plan.
Murkowski gets that pressure extended, able to find DeVries with 58 seconds. I believe that is the strategy. I like it. 25-3 Grandville. DeVries. Haight. Back to DeVries with 45. Stops it up, able to find Richardson. And Richardson gets fouled. And that will send Grace Richardson to the stripe. That'll be foul number 3 on Mackenzie DeVries. Plumbers comes back into the game for DeVries off the foul. .36 seconds and less. Myers cornered Courtmaker. Courtmaker drives and got fouled on the floor. Third of the quarter on the Bulldogs. Courtmaker the lone scorer for Caledonia. That fouled the first on Mia DeVries. 26 seconds on the clock. Grandville looking for a second quarter shutout right here. Myers. Up top for Boomers. Courtmaker with 15. Addie Rowe back to Courtmaker. Driving. Can't get the finish. On to DeVries. It'll go on the other way here with Rakowski. On for Haight with 1. Back to Rakowski. Flings it. That one high off the glass. No good at the buzzer. That'll do it for the first half. A defensive masterpiece painted by the Bulldogs in the first half. They lead at 25-3, CT. Break it down for us.
Yeah, I think both teams a little bit slow out of the gate, but the Bulldogs really able to figure things out offensively. Got some turnovers, allowed them to get some transition opportunities and build up a big lead. The Scots, on the other hand, struggling on the offensive end. 3 points from Courtmaker, but I think a lot of credit to what the Bulldogs are doing defensively right now.
All right, we're going to step aside. We'll be back with some highlights, some stats, and a lot more to break down. 25-3 Grandville. Terrific start.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Michigan hearing experts sell and service several brands of hearing aids. Are you having trouble having a conversation or unable to hear the latest play of the game? We perform comprehensive hearing exams and use real ear measurements to ensure optimal functioning hearing aids for your unique needs. Our highly trained doctors of audiology are dedicated to helping you reconnect with your world. Visit MichiganHearingExperts.com to find a location near you and take the first step towards better hearing with Michigan Hearing Expert.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. A class is elected each year and then honored at an induction ceremony in the fall. They also prevent annual events in support of West Michigan athletics, and they raise funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow them on Facebook or check out the pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at grshof.com.
We are Centennial Securities,
an independent firm with a team of committed professionals
who strive to exceed our clients' expectations by giving outstanding service.
We're proud to be part of our community where we live and work.
Upgrade to MHSAA Premium to get uninterrupted listening on all your favorite tunes. Click here to start your 7-day free trial.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising. Which is why with Farmers, you don't have to compromise quality to get great savings on your insurance. I got this.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
All right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, halftime, presented by Farmers Insurance. 25-3 dominant defensive first half for Coach Mike Van Hecken and the Bulldogs as they look for their second win of the season and their first win in the OK Red. Our scoring recap, Chandler, it's not going to be the most you've ever had to talk during one of these.
No, it will not. I'll start on the Caledonia side of things. They had 3 points, all from Lily Gortmaker for the Bulldogs. Leading scorer, Rakowski, had 8 points. Mia DeVries with 6 points. Then Gregor, Gillette, Haight, all with 3. Garang with 2 points.
All right, let's take a look at some highlights from the first half. We start Grandville and the game's leading scorer, Gracie Rakowski. Had some good work first on this little stutter step into a pull-up to make it, at the time, 5-0 Grandville. We then go back one more time. Gracie Rakowski with another tough finish on. And Greg were able to rip down the board nicely. Defense gets back in the half court. Drive, Rakowski, floater, scoring. Found the soft spot, and Gracie Rakowski scored. Big key to that half for sure for Grandville. Turned a lot of times into defense for offense, but also off of grinding possessions. They were able to find a load of tough finishes and good looks. This one was created by Gracie Rakowski. She was able to find Ding Garang for a really nice. Rakowski for Richardson in the corner. Rakowski again gets matched up here defensively with DeVries. Senior on senior. Nice find. Garang gets the finish. Rakowski, the nice shuffle. Lastly, we go back to Gracie Rakowski again. This was probably the play of the game in the first half. It was defense into offense for the Bulldog senior. Gracie Rakowski, defense into offense. So look back at the first half, 25-3 Grandville over Caledonia at the break. We're going to step aside, be right back here from Vanderslice Gymnasium.
The 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas, the point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Hey everyone, Nate from Michigan Game Night. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the MGN shop. You can find it through MichiganGameNight.com or the Michigan Game Night page on Michigan Sports Radio. Click on the Buy MGN Merch button or tab on either page and find your way on over. You can check out a store that has hats, beanies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, water bottles, and everything in between, from just simple MGN logo designs to playoff featured designs, designs with famous calls and moments from MGN, and much, much more. Make sure you check out the MGN shop through MichiganGameNight.com or MichiganSportsRadio.com/MGN.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Jim Timmer, wrapping up our Centennial Securities halftime, or Farmers Insurance halftime show. We're also presented by Centennial Securities. We have two sponsors. You know who they are at this point in time. We're very thankful for them. If I say the wrong one at some point in time, I'll make it up later. 25-3. I mean, there's not much more to say. I mean, Grandville's defense turning steals into points, making consistent tough shot decisions for Caledonia. I mean, it was a pretty much perfect performance on their own end of the floor. I mean, it doesn't get much. I mean, you can allow 0, but it actually doesn't get much more perfect than 3. I don't know if I've ever seen 3 points and a half.
No, that's pretty incredible. I think a pretty dominant performance overall from the Bulldogs. I think you keep up the intensity on the defensive end, and things are going to solve themselves. This game's going to probably go the way you want it to, and the Scots got to figure out some sort of offense that they can turn to. Their probably the most consistent option's been Gortmaker, just trying to make something happen off the dribble. It's been a game where they've been playing in transition quite a bit due to the press from the Bulldogs, and just really have not had a lot of good looks out of it, haven't been able to get capitalize on many of them. And so I think you got to run your offense through Gortmaker a little bit, try to let her attack or kick potentially once the defense turns their focus on to her and her ability to handle the ball.
All right, Scots will get it to start the second half. Away we go. Bulldogs open with a 22-point lead. We'll see if they can keep up the intensity we saw to them in the first half. They break out a zone look here in the half court to open up the half of play, something we didn't really see out of the Bulldogs in the first half. Turning the basket, Abraham and one. And right away, the Scots have a chance to match their first half total in the first 15 seconds of the quarter.
Yeah, a possession where they were able to set it up the whole way, strictly in the half court, able to get it down to Abraham down in the lane.
Abraham rattles that one out. And Rakowski will set it up here for the Grandville attack. Scots went man-to-man, some miscommunication, open look for Richardson off the mark, spinning to the paint, DeVries no. Craig were able to steal the outlet pass. Dogs reset it to let on the right side. No look feed, Rakowski, Richardson corner off the mark with that one. And a foul on the Bulldogs on the fight for the rebound will be their second foul call of the quarter.
Bulldogs getting a couple looks on that possession. Richardson with a couple of threes. Rakowski's ability to get inside the defense there. All four defenders have to turn their head and look that way, allowed the open kick out.
That call goes against Greg Wurr. 2-2-1 press beaten here by the Scots. Dump pass. Gortmaker got the rattle. And Caledonia, quick little run to start the second half of play as they have outscored their first half total within the first minute or so. Another jumping steal here from Batum driving the floor. DeVries mid-range. Rakowski down to the board. I mean, it was entirely unlikely that was going to fully continue. The Bulldogs now just need to certainly batten down the hatches a little bit defensively. Rakowski shaking into the lane. Gillette thought about the triple. DeVries at the block, has 6 in the first half. First 2 minutes nearly gone in the second half. Gregor, corner, Richardson. DeVries, quick handoff for Rakowski. Past the 2-minute mark of the quarter. Rakowski into some space, floater off the glass, no. Long possession, but nothing out of it there for the Bulldogs. Dogs again working out of the zone right here. Swinging matchup look. Gillette got a hand on it. Langenberg keeps the possession. Gortmaker. All the way across. DeVries tries the triple. Rattles it out. Put back. Abraham good. Abraham with 4 to start the second half.
Scott's been much more composed to start off this third quarter. Been able to avoid some of the pressure looks from the Bulldogs. Get into their half court.
And a timeout from Coach Van Hecken as the pressure will force him to burn a quick break. And we will step aside. Back to Grandville, 25-9. It was 25-3 at the break. A 6-0 run to start the quarter for Caledonia. Scott's looking, as you just said the word, a lot more composed, both ends of the floor to start this second quarter, or second half, I should say, of play.
They're able to likely talk some things out there in the locker room at halftime, figure out what their attack was going to be against some of the zones and pressures.
Easy steal here for Gortmaker against the pressure. Driving off the mark, forced by Rakowski. Grandville will run to not allow Caledonia to get the pressure, and a foul from behind on Langenberg, the first of the quarter on the Scots.
Bulldogs turning the basketball over here more than they would like in the third quarter. Survived the 2-on-1 from the Scots. Still a sizable lead, but you don't want to get complacent here. A lot of game left, and the Scots have shown that they've kind of turned the tide a little bit and figured things out on the offensive end.
The Scots have switched that trap from being more three-quarters court to a full court look as well, trying to draw a little bit more chaos and havoc out of the ball game. Dogs keep it along the baseline here off the Rakowski drive. 4:49 in the third. Maybe Gillette to throw in. Looking for DeVries. On instead to Abraham, who's got 4 to start this game. Gortmaker driving on Gregor, and a foul on Tessa Gregor. And Gortmaker goes to the stripe. A lot of energy out of the break here for Caledonia. Chance to get a double-digit scoring.
They've been able to completely change kind of the feel of what that team was in the first half. They've come up pretty fired out here in the third quarter, and a couple times in a row now they've had numbers going that way down the floor. Gortmaker had, again, 2-on-1, just able to take it herself.
Following Gregor is her third and the team's third. Gortmaker and the Scots continue to really struggle at the stripe. Kincannon, Perez in for the Bulldogs, Rowe in for the Scots here. Gortmaker unable to hit either at the line, but Batum grabs the rebound. Rowe unable to get the left-hand finish. Perez off and running. Emma Perez will back it out and set things up offensively. DeVries up top, swinging for Rakowski. Perez from the elbow. Richardson saves it in nicely to Perez. Rakowski has it ripped by Gortmaker, stays with Grandville into the dog bench. 4:16 in the third. Grandville still looking for their first points of the quarter. Rakowski, nice handoff. DeVries able to finish all alone. Gracie Rakowski with a great find, and Mia DeVries with another finish. She's got 8.
It's a great way to get your offense going. Fantastic little slip pass down to DeVries. Defense not expecting it.
Rakowski, DeVries, each with 8 for the Bulldogs. Full court press getting set up. Again by the trapping Scots. Here's Rakowski. Looking to beat it on her own, got tripped up. And we'll draw the second foul of the quarter on the Scots. That one goes on Langenberg, and that is her third. Let's see if Coach Blomers leaves her out there. He will for the time being. Rakowski getting into some space along the baseline, and one. Gracie Rakowski. Good tough finish and a chance for one more.
Great assist by Rakowski last time down the floor. This time the hesitation move beats 2 defenders on the right side. Initially on the swing through there, drives, puts it on the deck, gets by 1 defender, a little hesitation move. Chance for a 3-point play.
She's able to convert on it. Dogs win the race to 30. DeVries now, or sorry, with Rakowski now with 11 in the ball game. Grandville certainly settling things back down after the 6-0 start to the quarter. From the Scots, DeVries lets it fly. Through the hands of Gortmaker, Grandville will take it over with 3:20 in the third.
Scots have had some looks from 3, have not hit from beyond the arc yet tonight. The Bulldogs defense doing a pretty good job closing out beyond the arc, but Scots also having some issues hitting from deep as well.
Perez for Rakowski. Pressure going to come on to the Bulldog leading senior. Now stay with Grandville, despite the burst of emotion, the contrary from Caledonia. It will stay Grandville basketball as a row did a good job to get a hand on there and knock it away. Quick dribble move into the 3. Rakowski off the mark. Whip pass to Gortmaker. DeVries swinging to the corner for Langenberg. All the way across to Gortmaker. Langenberg again, working against this Bulldog zone. Nothing there, swung again, DeVries to Gortmaker. Tries to penetrate along the baseline and draws the contact.
Scots finally able to break down that zone. They were doing a tremendous job swinging it back and forth, keeping up with the passes. Finally, the Scots able to get ahead of it just enough to get a driving lane. Gortmaker quick enough, able to drive past and get herself back to the free throw line where she's had some issues.
Foul 2 on Kincannon. Gortmaker unable with the first. Garang will come in. DeVries will take a seat. That is the 4th foul on the Bulldogs. So Caledonia shooting free throws for the rest of this quarter. Applause for Mia DeVries as she leaves. Had some really good play in this one. And Gortmaker able to go 1 of 2 at the stripe here, and Caledonia gets to 10. 20-point lead for the Bulldogs. Garang comes up for the screen. Rakowski feeding Kincannon through the traffic. And the board ripped down by Addie Rowe. Flung for Langenberg. Final 2 minutes of the quarter. Langenberg thought about the triple, stepping back. Swinging again here against the Bulldogs swinging defense. Inside, shot off the mark for Bailey DeVries, and the Bulldogs will settle it down and Rakowski, from the direction of her coaching staff, will slow it down right here to set things up offensively.
Pretty good set from the Scots, swinging it around. Got the ball down to the low block, but Grang able to erase it and get a piece of it.
There's Garang looking to answer on the other side as well. Bailey DeVries rips it down. Bailey, Mackenzie DeVries both out there for Caledonia to travel as Langenberg got crossed up.
Langenberg saw Gortmaker behind the defense, was going to try to baseball pass that one over the top and looked like just lost it on the way up with the left hand.
Another interesting score to some of our listeners, 52-35. Muskegon absolutely handled Z1 West. So, okay, Green Conference certainly going to run through the reigning state runner-ups in Muskegon. Team I'm hopefully looking forward to seeing at some point later this season. Good finish and follow, I should say, from Emma Perez.
Perez saw that ball bouncing free. It was a pass intended for Garang, and Perez recognized it, just scoops up, almost in one motion, able to go up.
Caledonia will beat that pressure. Bulldogs a little disorganized out of their press. Fine for Addie Rowe, reaching and scoring. Probably the best offensive highlight of the night for the Scots. Able to fight through the contact, and Rowe, the senior, I should say, will get a chance for one more here at the strike. 2 on Garang. Langenberg unable to save that one. 51 seconds to go. Ray hate to put it in for the Bulldogs. Gets it to Perez, final 50 seconds of the third. 20-point lead for the Dogs. Courtmaker runs into Perez, and that'll be foul 4 on the Scots. Foul 2 on Lily Gortmaker.
Gortmaker sprinting over there, trying to provide the double team and trap right along the sideline. Perez didn't see her till the last second. There was a pretty hard collision.
Perez, baseline drive, can't get the finish. And foul on Perez, trying to rip that one free, and that will send the Scots back to the strike.
Perez maybe a little bit frustrated there, just got knocked to the ground, and then off the inbound pass, Courtmaker was once again providing some pretty tight defense after the missed shot. Reaching in there, fighting to the last second for that rebound.
Second foul on Emma Perez for the Bulldogs. And Rowe, who got that good finish a moment ago, goes back to the strike. Caledonia continuing to just really fight it at the line in this one.
And for as rough as the total number is for the Scots through the third quarter, they've had quite a few chances. If you are able to knock down a few more of the free throws that they've had, that could turn this rough performance around pretty quickly if you make some of those.
Tie up, alternating possession is going to stay going this way with Grandville. 33 seconds on the clock. Perez tied up. If you can see Coach Van Hecken, his arms up with the quick whistle right there. It'll stay with, or it'll stay now on this side of the floor, but stay or go to the Scots. That's what I'm trying to say. 31 seconds, third quarter. It's 32-13. Left corner inbound on the row. Langenberg. Mackenzie DeVries lets it fly and turns the net upside down with that one, right down the hatch.
First 3 of the game for the Scots. Coming from DeVries, catch and shoot.
Rakowski over the head of Haight. Caledonia takes it. Just under 8 seconds here for the Scots. Into Langenberg. Grandville with a 1-2-2 defense here. Back over to Langenberg. 3 seconds. Off the drive, that'll do it for the third. 16-point lead for the Bulldogs after 3. We're going to step aside, be right back here.
The 76 Diner and Truck Stop would like to invite you and your families to come and check out their diner. With locations in both Byron Center and Coopersville, they're a great place to stop before or after the game. They have a wide variety of menu choices to feed all the kids. They serve breakfast hot all day, and they're able to accommodate all of your large group needs. Their full menu is available for takeout orders, and they have online ordering at 76truckstopdiner.com.
What would you do with some extra time? Shop Fastlane today.
Welcome back to Grandville. 32-16. Final quarter. Been terrific effort from the Grandville girls so far as they look to go for a sweep of the evening over Caledonia. See if they can finish, or what the Scots have is certainly, if nothing else, CT, we can expect probably the pressure to get put up to the next level defensively out of Caledonia.
Yeah, I would think so. They've able to cut into the lead a little bit there in the third quarter, outscoring the Bulldogs 13-7.
All right, we are back underway with our final frame. Rakowski over Bloomers there. Langenberg in the paint, Abraham. And a foul goes on Rakowski for her second, first of the quarter on the Bulldogs. That is. 7:42 in the third. And travel gets whistled on Brecken Bloomers.
Bloomers, she caught it, looking to make a move, pivot, and then was going to try to drive, but moving the pivot foot there, she was looking to make a move.
Rakowski throwing for Gregor in the corner. Haight at the block, doubled. Tie up. And it'll stay with Grandville on the alternating possession. 7.5 to go in the ball game. Dogs by 16, looking for the sweep of the evening here at Vanderslice Gymnasium. Gregor out of the corner. Richardson with space, tries the triple. Haight tracks down the board. Rakowski marking out the offense, feeding for DeVries. Richardson. Rakowski. Stuttering into the lane. And the board down to Addie Rowe. Coach Bloomers directing his offense, looking to work with a little bit of pace right here. Grandville out of the zone. Langenberg trying to feed it for DeVries, goes off the foot of Rakowski. And the length of the floor.
Rakowski trying to jump that passing lane. You know, against the zone, gonna swing it there. Tried to poke it free and get another breakaway lay in, but get a piece of the ball with a kick and reset.
Courtmaker out of the corner, hits the side of the backboard. Richardson able to race to the board here. Off and running, Rakowski. Gregor tries the triple. Board stays with Gregor. Will lob it for Haight. Steps into the three, hits it.
Second three of the game for Haight there, off the rebound. Bulldogs swinging around. Haight is looking to make the next pass, realizing there was no defender in front of her. A lot of space, and knocks down her second triple.
Scott's able to beat the 2-2-1 trap here. turning in the lane, and Abraham able to get another good finish. He's been probably the most effective offensive point for the Scots in this half. 6 points, all of which coming in the quarter. She and Gortmaker each with 6 in the ball game. 5.5 to go.
And along with being able to control things a little bit more and get into the half court, the Scots been able to get the basketball down to their forward, and Abraham, who's been able to control the painted area a little bit here in the second half.
Bulldogs take a timeout.
Was founded based on the belief that the interests of our clients must always come first.
We listen and understand your objectives before making a recommendation.
We customize the portfolio of investments to fit your goals.
It is our commitment to provide a strong line of communication.
Our services include family wealth management, saving for retirement, and estate planning and trust services.
Getting started is as easy as picking up the phone. After all, when everything is said and done, isn't it about time?
It's the final game, folks. This one wins the series.
Struck out with the cheap seats? Important things aren't worth compromising. At Farmers, we offer both quality insurance and great savings. Here, take mine.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back to Grandville. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. 5.5 to go. 35-18 Grandville. Been all Bulldogs through the first half in this one. First 3 quarters, whatever it's been. It's the first half score. 5.5 to go, fourth quarter. And Grandville offense, though, they will typically average 38.5 on the season, so Bulldogs going to be able to beat that despite kind of the grinding style and defensive style of this one. And they'll work out of kind of a 1-1-3, 2-3 matchup-y zone. Out of the corner, triple, and Gortmaker is pure on that one.
Yeah, the Scots able to get it to the weak spot of the zone there. Get a little box out in the short corner, and then have the open 3 in the corner.
9 points for Lily Gortmaker in the game, leading the Scots. She had all 3 in their first half scoring march. Deep triple. Misses for Gillette. Put back for Gregor. Another one almost hangs on the top of the backboard and falls. Gets whistled down, and it'll go Caledonia's way.
Yeah, the missed 3 right to Gregor. Almost would have been the perfect pass opportunity, but very tough as Gregor catching that one and kind of going from one side of the basket to the other. Just had to throw it up there underhand style and tough angle.
Mid-range off the mark for Bloomers. And Grandville will take it with 4.5 to go. Kind of unique trapping pressure Grandville's been showing on some of these possessions. It kind of starts as a 2-2-1, morphs back almost into a 1-3-1 looking defensive trap. Held ball is going to go Caledonia's way, inside 4.5 in the ball game.
Scots continuing to fight. They've got a bunch more turnovers here in the second half. Been able to get on the floor, cause a bunch of tie-ups.
Rowe off the bounce, off the mark on the teardrop. Rakowski will slow it way down here for the Bulldogs as we approach the halfway point of the final quarter. 35-21 advantage for the Bulldogs. It was 25-3 at the half. Terrific defense start to finish out of the Grandville side. Rakowski feeding Mia DeVries. Gregor at the stripe. Haight, mid-range jumper. And falls short and won't quite be able to race down her own board. Caledonia takes it with 3:49 to go in the ball game. Blakely Batum, the junior, will check back in.
Bulldogs offense has really not been able to get going in the second half. They've kind of been coasting. They did have the big lead and really haven't been able to figure much out here in the second half and kind of holding on to the lead for right now.
DeVries swung it to the corner and got it back. Hands off, Gortmaker lobs free throw line to Abraham. Blomers off the mark on that one. Along the end line, Gregor is fouled. Second foul we've seen all quarter long, in the first of which that goes on Caledonia. That's foul 1 on Batum as well. Haight will take a seat as Dillette will come on for the Bulldogs. 3:19 to go in the ballgame. 35-21. Grandville looking to hang on for their second win of the year, break a 7-game losing streak. Won their first game of the year against Wright State semifinalist in Hart, and they've gotten the teeth of a tough non-conference, and of course OK Red season after, had the overtime loss to Jenison a couple games back. So a big win, I think, for Coach Van Hecken's program if he's able to hang on, win this one, win it in the way they did, which I think is a little bit of a game as a coach. You can say, all right, this is what our brand of basketball truly has to be. Richardson up top, unable to hit that one. She's 0 of 4 from behind the stripe in this half. Out of the corner, Gortmaker. Abraham for DeVries. Rakowski on the attempt to steal, and will tie it up. Jump ball to Grandville. 2:39 in the fourth.
Abraham with a strong rebound on the offensive glass, ripping it down. And Rakowski able to get in there right away, rip it free, cause another tie. We've had a bunch of those now in the last couple minutes. This one.
Grayburn handling the ball against the pressure, beats it on to Dillette. Grayburn backs it out with 2:20. And a quick reaching foul on Tessa Abraham. Nope, there's a foul. There's a timeout first. Timeout on the floor, full timeout called. Foul was called, then a timeout from the Caledonia bench. We'll stick with you through the break. Welcome up top, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. We know what we're talking about at all times. 2:20 to go, 35-21. Like I said, though, it feels like an important win, not just for the fact that for Coach Van Hecken's team they won, they can continue to kind of build towards that, but also it's a win truly in a way and in a sense that it is, I think, him able to look at, this is how we want to play. There's all these great teams in this conference. They all play such great defense. This is our unique brand, the way we want to trap and press and pressure. And they really, especially in that first half, were able to answer in the exact way of, all right, this is what Grandville basketball is going to be going forward, and this is how we're going to win games.
Yeah, I think it can be tough to kind of set that model when you're going against such talented teams, because you're kind of just pressed from the start, and things kind of get out of hand pretty quickly when you got other teams imposing their will on you, and you're just trying to kind of settle things down. It's difficult, but in a game against Caledonia here where they're able to play to their pace a little bit more, kind of set the tone of what they're going to be, got off to the big lead, now been able to coast in the second half here and look like they're going to hang on, but
here's Rakowski. Richardson getting trapped up here. And a foul on the Scots will be the third on Coach Bloomer's team. That one will get whistled on Gortmaker for her third. Inbound pass away from Dillette from Richardson. Will turn it over.
Richardson, right idea. Dillette cutting towards the basket. That passes, hits her in stride. She's got an easy lay-in towards the basket, but just out of the reach instead, and out of bounds.
Bailey DeVries turns it over to Richardson. Ripped back away by DeVries. Here's Gortmaker. Across, quick triple. Langenberg off the mark, short with that one. Grandville will take it here. Addie Rowe checks in. A little bit of defense for offense, back and forth here with Bailey DeVries. Scots will set up the press right here. Grayburn corner, Richardson. Richardson with 93 seconds, off the bounce, off the mark. Courtmaker flings it on for Mackenzie DeVries. Takes it straight to the rack. Left hand short. Board down to Mia DeVries for the Dogs, and a foul will be the 4th of the quarter on Caledonia. 1:22 in the 4th. Second foul on Batum.
Batum and DeVries fighting for that rebound the entire length there. DeVries able to snatch it. Strong hands.
Murkowski has it paddled by Gortmaker. Stolen back away by Tessa Gregor. Whipped on for Richardson. DeVries in a timeout from the Grandville bench as Coach Van Hecken wants a chance to quick talk about.
We are Centennial Securities,
An independent firm with a team of committed professionals
who strive to exceed our clients' expectations by giving outstanding service.
We're proud to be part of our community where we live and work.
You can feel confident choosing Farmers, which means a black cat doesn't always spell bad news.
What about a gang of them?
Actually, a group of cats is called a clouder. Isn't that right, tough guy?
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back to Grandville. All Grandville down the stretch in this one, 35-21. Bulldogs getting set to wrap up a sweep of the doubleheader this evening. First time they've been able to sweep a doubleheader on the year. In the backcourt, Grace Richardson. Down to the final minute. Grandville going to pick up their first win in 7 games and get their first win in the always tough OK Red. Murkowski nearly has her pocket picked off that feed. Back for Dillette. Courtmaker staying with her, and that foul will put the Bulldogs in the bonus.
Bulldogs offensively just 10 points in the second half, but they've been able to keep the basketball away with some long enough possessions that they've been able to maintain their lead. And again, right there, eating up some time, keeping it outside on the perimeter, passing it around. Eventually, Scott's forced to commit the foul.
Delight got the first one. 4 points now in the game for the senior. Rowe down to the rebound. Good try from Courtmaker. Grandville takes it with 30 seconds to go. Final half minute, separating Grandville from their first OK Red win of this season. Murkowski, Gregor. Let's find over the timeline. Dillette with 22 seconds. Caledonia will let the Bulldogs dribble this one on out, and it will be the first win of the year within conference play for Grandville. Dogs go to 2-7 on the year. They go 1-4 in the red. Caledonia falls to 4-6 and now 1-4 within the OK Red to the same mark. Grandville picks up the win. And that is first win in 7 games and a big one for Grandville as well. Chandler will roll on to our Centennial Securities post-game show. Give us your first thoughts wrapping this one up here this evening.
Yeah, it's got to feel good to get that first OK Red win of the season, first win in a while, and close in overtime loss to Jenison, but to dominate this one, especially in the first half, and then able to kind of coast to the finish here and get your first win. It's hopefully the start of things to come for this Bulldogs team.
All right, we are going to step aside, and we'll be right back. We'll have your scoring, we'll have some awards, we'll have some highlights all coming up. Grandville winners for the first time this year in OK Red play, and it's
the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas, the point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Hey everyone, Nate from Michigan Game Night. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the MGN shop. You can find it through MichiganGameNight.com or the Michigan Game Night page on Michigan Sports Radio. Click on the Buy MGN Merch button or tab on either page and find your way on over. You can check out a store that has hats, beanies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, water bottles, and everything in between, from just simple MGN logo designs to playoff featured designs with famous calls and moments from MGN, and much, much more. Make sure you check out the MGN shop through MichiganGameNight.com or MichiganSportsRadio.com/MGN.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
All right, welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer, Centennial Securities post-game show. Wrapping it up here. A sweep of the evening for the Grandville Bulldogs. The girls get it done 36-21. Chandler, let's start out with our scoring summary before we get to some highlights and awards.
All right, for Caledonia, leading scorer, Gortmaker with 9. Abraham had 6, all of which came in the second half. DeVries and Rowe each had 3 points. For the Bulldogs, leading all scorers, Rakowski, 11 points. Mia DeVries with 8. Haight with 6. Dillette with 4. Perez, Grang with 2, and Tressa Gregor with 3 points.
All right. Let's go on to some highlights, and then we'll get into some awards. Let's look at the second half, and a couple to look at. The first of which was a nice find from Gracie Rakowski. She's able to get Mia DeVries for a good finish inside. Rakowski, nice handoff. DeVries able to finish all alone. Gracie Rakowski with a great find, and Mia DeVries. Good find there from Rakowski, and you're going to start to sense a little bit, if you haven't already, of a trend with some of our highlight plays coming from number 3 in white. Rakowski had 11 points tonight, led all scores, and was a big part of a lot of the offense and the defense of the Bulldogs. And here's one more look. She had a good and one at the end of the third quarter. Rakowski getting into some space along the baseline, and one. Gracie Rakowski. Good tough finish and a chance. And now let's take a look at some awards. Let's start with our Farmers Insurance play of the game. And we go back to Gracie Rakowski. We go to the end of the first half where she was able to jump a passing lane and turn a steal into an easy 2 with a good effort on both ends of the floor. Langenberg. Stolen by Rakowski. Good reach, and the senior gets the easy 2. Gracie Rakowski, defense into offense. All right, so there's your Farmers Insurance play of the game. We go on to our Centennial Securities winning game plan, best play call of the game from this one, CT. And a lot of things to look at, but I think just the general defensive makeup from Coach Van Hecken's team wound up being the difference. Some different looks defensively, some zones, some traps, some presses mixed in there, but it was going to be a defensive game from the start, and certainly he and his team were able to control that, especially in the first half.
Yeah, able to establish it early on and played a lot of games where they've kind of been forced to play a style of game that the other team was dictating, and this time they were able to set it early on. Got Caledonia uncomfortable, got off to that big lead, and then able to work from there.
Rainbow Grill in Grandville, open from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Monday through Saturday. They present our Player of the Game award, and we mentioned her name a lot in the highlights, but Gracie Rakowski, 11 points for Grandville, really ran all aspects of the offense and the defense in this game, as she so often has done, and has been in a double-digit scoring streak as of late, and certainly been showing kind of the skill and the culmination of the 4 years we've seen her up here on varsity the last couple games, and leading to a win with a good performance tonight.
Yeah, all around. I think the scoring was there. She had a bunch of rebounds early on, especially. The assists you saw in the highlights there as well. So a little bit of everything from Rakowski, keeping the offense rolling, the plays on the defensive end to go along with it.
All right, that'll do it for the evening from Grandville. A sweep for the Bulldogs. First time this year the Dogs able to pick up a sweep. We're back on the air Tuesday. It's Grand Haven coming to town. We'll have video coverage again and again. One last thank you to the Grandville AV class during the boys' game, as they were able to provide us their video feed and provide the pictures for some really, really good coverage. So we thank them a lot. For that this evening, sweep of the night for the Bulldogs, for Chandler Timmer and everyone at Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. I am Nate Dreyer signing off. We'll see you all next time.